Good evening and welcome to the 2024 edition of the Dock Masters Championship. We are here at the Boulder Hall Energy Haven in Utrecht in the Netherlands. We're about a half an hour away from the start of the action. You can see the routes behind me. These are going to be our semi-final routes for this evening. The men and the women are going to go at the same time in our classic 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off format. We'll get to a little bit of that later. We'll get into the routes a little bit later as well. But what you need to know from the live stream at home, the energy in this building is crazy. People were lined up an hour before we let them in past the rope. The bar has been open, dinner is open. We let them in. This place is full. In about half an hour, they are going to get treated to some of the best climbers in Europe and a bunch of really strong locals that have come to the Dock Masters. The beauty of this event is that it pits those local climbers, non-professional climbers, in the same round during the qualifiers this morning as the pro climbers. They climb together, then they climb in the semifinal today, and we're going to tape our top 6 into the finals tomorrow. So, from a lot to 20 tonight, and from 20 we got to pare it down to 6. Let's take a quick look at the room here, just give you a sense of what's going on. All of these people in to see the semifinals up close. People lined up to have these front row seats here. This is what they're being treated to. Boulders are going to go from the right side of the wall to the left side of the wall. You're going to see that soon enough. If you're unfamiliar with how semifinals go, it's going to be a little bit chaotic when we get into the middle of it. There's going to be 8 climbers on the wall, 4 men and 4 women competing at the same time. In just a minute here, we're going to go up into isolation, see if we can interview some of the climbers. I know they're getting ready, but we're going to see if we can get a few of them to come and talk to us. Some of the pros won't climb until a little bit later. They go in reverse order. So the top qualifiers are going to go later on. They got a little bit more time, but they're all in here warming up. Normally, we don't get to go into isolation. This is where all the athletes come. We lock them in here about an hour before the competition starts. They're not allowed to see the boulders, so we bring them in. They don't get to see anything. Everything's climbed on site. So we keep them sequestered up here, and we let them warm up. Everybody's got different processes for warming up. Because they climbed in the qualifier this morning, not that long ago, they don't need to get warm as though it was the start of the day. So you just want to get the big muscle groups moving. You want to make sure your fingers are feeling fresh. You want to make sure that you've got a little bit of snap in those shoulders, a lot of pull ready to go. Skin, of course, is a priority. You don't want to warm up so long that you start to get thin tips. You don't want to bleed out too much. So they're a little bit careful about how much they warm up in here. But as you can see, the setup here at this gym, this is nearly perfect for a warm-up for a comp of this level. They got a hangboard on the far side, campus rungs, a moon board, couple of kilter boards here, so they can set boulders as hard as they want to get ready. We also have the wonderful physio team from Physio Fabric. They're here, making sure that we're looking after the athletes. They've been providing first aid service. I saw them massaging some people earlier, get some of those knots out from the qualifiers this morning. Let's head in and see if we can get a few interviews from people, see what they're looking forward to, see what they're ready for. This might be one of the strongest benches you're going to come across in a climbing gym. Anybody want to have a quick chat? Who's in the mood? They're having gossip time right now. Chloe, come over here. I'm just going to wrangle them up. That's how it's going to work. Chloe Koskoy, USA Climbing, but you've been spending some time in Europe. Tell us a little bit about the last couple weeks.
Yeah, so I was actually in Tokyo for a couple weeks and trained with a bunch of my French friends down there. Then came to Paris, spent like 2 weeks in France, was training there, which was really fun. Got a little sick in the beginning of the week, so I wasn't able to climb too much, but feeling a lot better now and really stoked to have come out here.
This is your first Dock Masters, yes?
Yeah.
And the format this morning, the qualifier, that was maybe a new format for you. Did it add a little bit of stress knowing that you had a limited number of attempts on each of those boulders?
Yeah, we've definitely done like similar formats before, at least in the States, but never with so few attempts. So it was definitely a little bit stressful. Practiced it a little in my warm-up, like really keeping my cool and kind of giving good attempts like early on. So it was fun. I think a good little mental like check-in and see where the comp skills are at. So hopefully get some more of that.
The timing of this event, you've had some time off. You've had some time to maybe a little downtime and start to wind up for the next World Cup season, about 2 months away. This will be the first competitive event you've done in a while. Do you treat it as a check-in, or are you like guns a-blazing?
Yeah, I mean, for myself, I've kind of gotten the chance to do quite a few little comps at different gyms and stuff over the last few months. So, I mean, I just love to compete, and it was a great opportunity to come out here. So I think for me, it's kind of treating all comps the same, come out with like hopefully a lot of energy and intensity, and just see where that brings me and what I need to work on for the next one.
Well, I am relatively confident. I don't make a lot of predictions, but I'm relatively confident that's going to bring you into the final tomorrow. So I'll let you get back to chilling out before you want to start your warm-up, but good luck in a little while.
Thank you, thank you.
If you want it, yes, of course. You did? Oh, you're all going to? Yeah. They have an agreement from the bench. Sasha, how are you feeling? Of course, it's live, so we just roll with it. She hasn't completely bought in yet. How are you feeling from this morning? How were the boulders during the qualifying round, and sort of that time between now and then? Are you still warm, or do you have to go full warm up again?
Well, I'm definitely still kind of warm, and this jacket really helps. Yeah, it's been quite a long time since the qualies ended, so I took like some long naps, ate well, and now I'm here waiting for my time to start warming up slowly. But I'm definitely gonna need way less to warm up than this morning. But yeah, the morning was okay. It was a bit hard to activate because it was generally like cold in the gym, and the format is a bit funny. You know, you just get 5 attempts, so you can't really risk. So you rest a lot and then you cool down, which is not optimal. But yeah, I hope for like more exciting boulders in the semis.
Yeah, of course, I can say nothing about them, but I think we're all wishing for exciting boulders in the semifinals. Just give me a little bit of insight into how you treat the space between the end of the World Cup season and this sort of in-between time where there are comps to go and do. You get to pick and choose, you know, what you're interested in. You've done this comp before, so you know where it is on the calendar.
Yeah, so I've done this comp for the first time last year. Now it's a little bit earlier in the season, which fitted me like way better, as it's like basically in the middle of the winter training. So yeah, off season, it means really just resting off from climbing. Sometimes people like to take like a little time off for the rocks, but this time it didn't work. I was just too exhausted. I tried, but it was really not optimal, so I just took a rest earlier than I thought. And then yeah, it just you lose everything in 2 weeks, and then you need 2 months to get back, which is basically a process every year, and I hate it. But it took like some good time, like until after New Year's, to be feeling like it's almost normal again. And yeah, now it's just a lot of trainings, a lot of sleeping and eating. Really, I've finished my studies, so I'm like a full-time climber now, and it's really weird. I don't know if I dig it up. I feel like I've lost the sense of purpose.
You found new purpose.
Oh man, it's an exhausting new purpose.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, so it's tiring, but you know, I have my goals, I have my plans, and this is what I'm devoting my full energy to, and yeah, it's going well, I think.
That's amazing. And I'm just curious, because I like to know more than what's just, you know, training and warming up, and that's great. But do you have any hobbies that you go back to? Do you do other sports? Do you paint? Or can you sing? Like, I know that there are random talents throughout the climbing community. Is there anything that you do that you're good at, that you love, that's not connected to climbing?
Well, I'm still kind of into engineering, even though I finished my studies. So now I'm like, we've done a paper with one team at my university at TUM in Munich, and now I'm writing like a chapter for a book they're publishing, which is basically just like reshaping the article we did. So now that keeps me busy, and it's really nice. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, I like reading. I like Sudoku actually. That keeps me off social media too, which is healthy, I think. Yeah, I can't stand Instagram anymore really. I like running, taking walks. I play viola. But I haven't played in a while, and yeah, I might get back to it soon. This is like a nice hobby as well, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's awesome. Well-rounded, you might say. Right, a little bit of engineering, a little bit of art, a little bit of very strong rock climbing.
Just to keep the brain sane, you know?
I'm with you, I'm with you. Like, problem solving out here is a little bit different than problem solving in the engineering world, but they're...
I can't do just one thing. It's just it's really draining, and it really feels like I haven't, like, my life is not complete if I do one thing. So it needs to be distracted with other things too. It needs to be challenged in other ways. So I think that's
a really cool perspective, actually, is that it keeps you kind of functioning at a high level to have other things to spend your attention on, and it seems to be working for you in all ways. I'm excited to see you climb the semifinals boulders, and I want to say good luck on your upcoming World Cup season.
Thank you very much. See you around.
All right. Let's see who else we can wander over to and convince. Yeah, we are. There's 40 people in here, so there's 20 men and 20 women semifinalists. So we're just going to pick and choose as we go. How's it going? I want you to introduce yourself and tell us where you're from.
My name is Paul Brandt. It's going good, and I'm from the Netherlands. I'm just home. I don't come here that often, but I enjoy climbing here, and almost about to start warming up. So I'm excited.
Nice. How did the qualifiers go for you this morning?
Yeah, for me it went very well. Yeah, I'm quite happy with how I was climbing. At the start it was a little bit rusty, but then I got into it, and then suddenly it was like going smooth, and then I could like top some boulders, so it was fun.
Topping boulders is always a good time. Did you have a favorite? They only had 6 qualifying boulders, so not a lot to choose from, but did you have a favorite from this morning?
Yeah, I definitely had a favorite one. There was like a black one on the mushroom, and it was a really like compression boulder, and I really enjoyed it. There was just a lot of power, and I like that.
Yeah, I saw a few people struggle on that, and I saw a few people absolutely crush it. Do you plan for this comp? Did you train leading up to it? Or are you just sort of, this is where I'm at in my season, this is where I'm at in my fitness, and we'll see where it is? Or did you, a little ways out, have you been planning and kind of winding up for this one?
I didn't particularly train for this one, but I just trained for like the comp season ahead. So but I'm feeling quite well this moment, so I'm excited to continue with this season.
What does your season look like? You're on the national team.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what your schedule is, what you're kind of going to get into this season upcoming, or is that still to be planned?
Yeah, I still have to qualify for like international comps, but next week is also the Dutch Championship, so that's also exciting. And afterwards, if I qualify, then some European Cup and also some World Cups, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely, hopefully. I've seen some of your climbing before, so I'm hoping to see good things from you out in the semifinals. Is there anything that you want to see? Like, the angle, right? You know where the semis are set. Yeah. Is there anything that you're hoping to see and anything that you're like, oh, please don't have one of those?
Actually, it's not true, because they like rebuilt some of the walls. So there can be like some tricky new like angles and stuff. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna see or get, but I'm hoping for some really cool and hard boulders.
If you had to pick between steep and powerful or slabby and technical, where would you put your check mark?
Actually, both. I really like my slabs, like on like tricky volumes and like just really standing on your feet. And I also like really technical power boulders. Just so you don't just go just boom boom, but also have to like think about it. Yeah.
So it's going to be tough to knock you off the wall, is what you're saying. You're like a man of all styles.
I hope, yeah. We're going to see.
Yeah, we are going to see. Looking forward to seeing you in a little bit. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. All right, who else can we talk to? Let's see. Are you in? I said, if anybody, when you see us in here, come on over. You want to have an interview? I think that's probably going to be good. We got a few good chit chats. What we're going to do now is we're going to head back up to the booth, and we're going to get a little bit more behind the scenes, talk to some route setters, look at some boulders. We're going to run up there now. Catch you back in 30 seconds.
Dat is veel beter. We hebben gewoon mooie prijzen. Zullen we prijzen gooien nog? Lekker die ballen. Ja, we hebben hier nog prijzen. We hebben petjes, we hebben mutsen, we hebben zakjes, we hebben tassen. Nou, genoeg prijzen. Ik denk dat we beginnen met zo'n zak. Wie wil die graag hebben? We gaan mikken. Even kijken, daar is die binnen voordat we zo doen. Oké, hoe die muts. Die mutsen wil ik zelf wel gebruiken. Even kijken. Maar ja, mag ik hem nog van jou zijn? Sorry. Ik moet nog iets in de duurheid overlaten. Ja, die kleine is moeilijk, hè? Ja, gelijk. Oké, kijk eens. Daar zo achter. Daar komt er nog een snoer. Yes. Even kijken. voor mij. Deze. Overigens nog een man die uitleeft. Nee, dat is een bandana. Een bandana. Dat is ook een handig tijdens. Zo, komt ie. Nou, dit schuift echt in de lucht. Ongelooflijk. John, we zijn er even doorheen. Ja, deze bewaren we zo meteen. Ja, goed maatjes. Ik kijk ook even naar de tijd. Er gaan zo ongelooflijk veel vette dingen gebeuren. Wij gaan er heel even uit. Komen mensen langs met regen, dus niet opstaan. Hij komt helemaal goed. Wij zien jullie straks terug. Tot zo. Tot zo. Dank jullie wel.
Back into the booth. We are privileged to hang out with a couple of the route setters from this international route setting team. Maelys and Kaleb, you guys were responsible for setting the Masters category this weekend. When did you get here and how long have you been setting for this week?
We started on Tuesday setting. So Tuesday we worked on the semi-final, which is the round you're going to watch today. And then the next 2 days we worked on the final and then the qualifier. Yeah, so 4 days in total.
It's if you don't know and you don't get a lot of behind the scenes for route setting, they sort of set in the wrong order. So they set the final rounds earlier in the week. You're fresher, your skin, you're kind of, much more in tune with how difficult the boulders might be. And then as you get closer to the weekend, you set the qualifying rounds. And then, have you made any tweaks at all between watching the climbers this morning and the semifinals that just went up?
For the girls, we hesitate with the hard one, the second one, because I think the end is tricky with the sloper. It's a pinch sloper. It's strange. So for me, it was risky to push too much here. Mm-hmm. So finally, we push in the third boulder. It's a little swing and after a little dyno. So maybe now it's not hard boulder, but maybe 6, 8 up. Okay. I don't know. So yes, finally we don't touch the hardest, but the second one.
So you get to sort of see, because even though you know who's coming and climbing, how they're climbing on every different day, it can be a totally different experience. Did you guys have as a team anything? Did you have like a theme or something you were trying to go for? Is it you want people to have a good time? You wanted people to be challenged? You wanted them to leave like feeling tested?
Well, for the Dockmaster, I mean, it's a fun competition. It's an exposition. So for us, it's important that the climbers have a really good time. It's not a World Cup. It's not a national championship. So yeah, I think the boulders are really fun. And the other thing is that here at Energy Haven, the walls are a little bit challenging to work with. So in some ways, this sort of dictates the movements that we can do anyway. Because there's a lot of angle changes and things like this. So it's maybe a little bit harder to bring like a very specific vision with regards to style.
And I'm going to ask you just not a random question, but you guys, are setting from, Canadian and French. And did you see any holds that came across your path to set with that you'd never seen before?
Yes, for me, yes, there's a lot of holds I think I never set with.
Yeah, we had a lot of, for this comp, a lot of new stuff and a lot of smaller brands. Yeah, well, that's a bigger brand, but yeah, the U-turn is really cool. You guys will maybe see those in later rounds. Maybe. But yeah, in this, there was some holds from Rustam Galmanov and Axis, which is like a Dutch company that we don't set with a whole lot. So yeah, it's one of the nice things about this comp is there's a lot of small companies hold, so it's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, is it fun for you to open the whole box and be like, I don't know what that is, but I want to use it, and I've never seen that, and heck yeah, that's going on a boulder.
Yeah, especially, Yeah, I mean, when you come in and you are fighting a tiny bit the wall angles, having the fresh holds can really inspire the boulders. So yeah, it helps. It's nice.
Cool. If you had to pick, you get sort of one angle, one round, one level. What would you choose? Would you go?
Si tu choisis un mar. Like if you had one wall to choose.
Would you pick a slab boulder? Would you set a steep boulder? Would you set like a final? Would you set like a really hard, like a medium hard? Like what's your favorite way, your favorite boulder? No parameters, you get to do whatever you want. What do you like to set?
If I have to choose one style. If I have to choose one
Yeah,
style.
to set.
To set. I like coordination, I think, yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Same question, Caleb.
I mean, my instinct is maybe coordination because it's always fun for the crowd, and as a root setter, they're always fun to play on because they're maybe not so hard, but you get to try a lot. But I think here the style is often like really cool power boulders. Like I think at the Dockmaster we have like really good basic climbing boulders that are super fun to climb and trickier maybe than they look to the audience.
Cool.
The purple men's boulder is a good example of one that might look simple when you watch it, but to climb it's very tricky.
And that's perfect. You basically took the last question, which was if there's something that would stand out or something that you think people are going to be surprised by. But I think we'll take that as a great answer. The purple boulder, of course, it might look easy, and easy is relative, of course. We are dealing with some World Cup level climbers here.
I don't think it's going to look easy.
It might look relatively simple, but. All right, I want to thank you guys very much for hanging out, giving us a little insight into the process. And we're going to come right back. We're going to introduce my co-host, and we're about, less than 10 minutes away from the start of this comp. So stay where you are. We're going to be right back.
Kijk eens naar links, naar het groene bordje. Daar zit er ook een. Mocht nou de ship de fan hitten, dan kun je altijd via die nooduitgang naar buiten. Maar ik wil wel dat jullie rustig blijven. De afspreken dat jullie heel rustig blijven. Ja, ik heb hier maar een ja nodig, anders dan... Ja? Ja, nee, top. En je kan altijd nog mensen met gele hesjes volgen. En die lopen zich dan aan het grasveldje. Dat is de klok. Die gaat nu nog een beetje terugtellen. En straks gaat hij nog een keer 5 minuten terugtellen. En dan gaat het daadwerkelijk echt beginnen. Laatste logistieke mededeling. Je kan de hele avond lekker blijven zitten.
Gentlemen, I'm now joined by my co-host, who's going to be Jake Mason, a UK-based route setter living in London. You're the head setter at Hang Climbing.
Shout out Hang, Hounslow.
So Hang Climbing, is it big gym, old gym, new gym?
Medium-sized gym, brand new. Very,
Nice.
very cool. Very good atmosphere.
How long you been route setting for?
Something like 9 years now.
Okay.
Yeah. Feels like a long time.
Is this your first Dockmasters?
Yeah, first time I've been here. I've watched every single year. It's always so entertaining, It's cool. This gym is cool.
Yeah, awesome. We're just going to keep rolling. If we can have a look, we're going to bring up the start list, and they're going to go in reverse order. So they're going to come out 20th up to first. And as you look down that lists, there are some big names that are coming out on both the women's and men's side.
For sure, big names, but also lots of like Dutch locals. Mm-hmm. Maybe we don't know them. Maybe there could be some dark horses in there, huh?
Yeah, there's a bit of a mix across the board. When you take 20 into semifinals, you're definitely going to get a lot through that range. And on the women's side, even maybe a slightly deeper field, I would say. There's sort of more top-end women on this side. And then again, when you look at Chloe Costco in 8th, that's showing you how deep this field is. Julija Kruder down in 12th even. So
yeah, it's kind of surprising, huh?
It's going to be hard to pick 6 out of this group to get into the final, but that's what we need to do. So the boulders you're going to see, most people say pretty consistently, semifinals is the hardest round because you've got to go 20 to 6. You've got to test them.
Yeah.
And you don't mind if you get a boulder that only gets 1 or 2 tops.
No, it doesn't matter at all. In semifinals, it's more about testing, and then in the finals, it's more about a show. once you whittle it down to 6, you just want to see a big show.
Yeah,
in
and
the
if you have-
semis, you got to break it down.
Exactly, and if you have a clean round coming out, so you have no ties, nothing to go count back
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
you can even sort of take the tethers off a little further and be like, yeah, we are going to do the dyno.
Yeah, the pressure goes away for the root sets. That's what we always want that,
Yeah.
you know.
So you set this week. Did you set the qualifying round and some of the recreational boulders? What have you been involved in so far?
Yeah, so I was just here yesterday. I'm here with Axis, one of the hold sponsors for this event. Me and my colleague Nikki, Nicholas Wiesman, we set 3 boulders for the pro qualifying round. 2 female boulders and 1 guy's boulders.
Which guys?
was great.
Did you guys set?
We set the red one that was like a stand-up foot plant across the slidey Notex. Yeah,
that was a
that
gnarly
was a cool
boulder.
boulder.
That was
You
a
know,
gnarly boulder. I
It's
liked it
just
a lot.
it's literally just 2 moves, but it's enough.
Yeah, it was hard to get
hard
established.
moves.
It was hard to get across. Yeah, it was really it was the right amount of questionable.
Yeah.
Before we get to the action, I'm going to take just a moment here and I'm going to address an unfortunate situation that has come to pass at the competition this year. Ayala Karim, Noah Sheeran, and Nimrod Marcus were initially invited and confirmed to attend the event. Late this week, the organizers were made aware of several initiatives that had formed to prevent their participation as a political reaction to the ongoing situation in Palestine. Those initiatives gained media attention and causing that reaction to grow and spread even further. Boulder Hall Energy Haven became concerned there would be violence and that they would be unable as a small organization to guarantee the safety of the invited athletes as well as the local athletes in the competition. So regrettably, and after much consideration, they needed to withdraw those invitations. I know that also got a lot of press, social media as well. So with their decision, they tried, and unintentionally they failed to stay uninvolved on the political side of things because some people thought they were making it political. Beforehand, they hadn't fully grasped the implications their decision would have in Israel and in the Jewish community. They did contact the city and the government, and local police were all involved. They did give them the confidence that they would be able to come and protect athletes at the event. And they did end up reversing their decision and re-invited the athletes to the event, but unfortunately it was too late for most of them to come over. So the Dog Masters is first and foremost a competition, and it strives to bring people together in a celebration of the sport, and we don't want to be political in this event in any way, and we just want to say that it's unfortunate that these things unfolded, and we wish it could have been different, but circumstances as they are, and that's where that leaves us. All right, Jake, we are minutes away from the start of the
So
semifinal
excited,
round. And so if you're not familiar, as we were just mentioning, it's sort of been in passing, 5 minutes on, 5 minutes to rest. Some people love this format, on-site format. They've never seen the boulders. They go from isolation to boulder 1. You turn around, you have 5 minutes to read a boulder, solve a boulder, try a boulder. I mean, so many things to manage. We'll get into it as we go, but are you running it as quick as you can? Are you trying the boulder once?
Yeah,
Are
man.
you like dealing with the risk?
I've never competed, so I can't answer that question exactly, but it must be incredibly stressful. Incredibly stressful.
Yeah, it absolutely is, and we're gonna see a lot of that as we go across. You're gonna see people handling the boulders differently. We get a look at our first semifinalists, Andres Villa and Miriam Diaz Luengo. They are gonna be introducing us to boulder number 1. So they're both gonna start a man and a woman are gonna climb at the same time. So 2 climbers at the same time on boulder number 1. So we're going to start off very slowly. We're going to have all our attention on them. But as we progress, we'll get a lot of climbers on the wall. We'll have 8 climbers on the wall, and it's going to be fast and furious. So we're going to try, at the beginning it's going to be easy. We're going to bring you all of the action of boulder number 1. But what we're going to end up through the middle is we're going to try and find out where the action is happening. We're going to try and bring you as many tops as we can. Understand, of course, that you're going to miss a couple of things along the way. We might be able to show you some replays. Basically, strap in. It's going to be a heck of a ride, and our first climbers, 5 minutes, have started right now. You and I were looking at the boulders earlier, and we have our own theories. We'll sort of see how the climbers progress, but even the start of this boulder, like that's an attempt. Boom.
There you go, 1 attempt, he's off the ground. Yeah, we don't want to give too much away. So, men's 1, I think these guys will be able to read it. They know what to do, I assume.
Yeah, and it
But-
overhangs just a little bit. These first two holds are flat. And
That's cool.
yeah, a little bit of a swing, and always, of course, wall friction. You hope for the best,
Yeah.
but you can see right away how stretched out he is. And this one's kind of insecure. The yellow, you can see the lights reflecting off the
it's
dual
tough.
decks.
This boulder actually is kind of hard to read. I had a look down there. I'm not sure what to do. It looks like you can't tell if it's easy or hard. It's bang in the middle. It's crazy.
And if you listen to Caleb, he said, "Oh, they're all easy."
Yeah.
The root setters are classic for that. All the
They
boulders
always
are easy.
say that, yeah. 5 minutes, they've got to be kind of easy, right?
Yeah.
Surely at the lower end of what these guys can do.
Yeah, and I think if you're not super familiar with competitions, maybe there's this mindset out there that, of course, semifinals and final boulders are like double-digit B grades. They're not. They can't be.
No.
You can't onside a boulder in plastic in that amount of time. So they are challenging, but we challenge different things. So this one is a little bit careful, as you can see Andres in the background jumping in.
Oh,
and then
there we go.
nearing
That was cool.
yeah, very cool. Straight to the zone. There is a little crimp on there for his right hand. Julija making progress. Just carefully on top of his right. It's just trying to make no mistakes.
That volume is really, really cool. Oh, you have to go down. Very cool. The volume, the penultimate hold there is incredibly sloping. It's very, very hard to hold. Yeah, she got there. That's cool.
Yeah, you saw her just sizing up the distance, and dropping tops is maybe one of the most difficult things to bounce back from.
Yeah, as soon as you drop one, you're like, whoa, have I messed it up? And I think a lot of the lesser experienced athletes struggle with that. The more experience you have, the more able you are to sort of deal with those falls.
Yeah,
early on.
because there is this a very significant mental piece of the puzzle, and that's in your 5 minutes, and then the 5 minutes after that, you have to be able to let go.
Yeah.
You can't hold on to what happened on boulder 1 in the chair, and you can't hold on to what happened on boulder 1 while you're in the middle of boulder 2. You can't be kicking yourself about boulder 1 while you're trying to wait for boulder 3. Like, you have to be able to let go of something that you put 100% of your energy into just mere minutes before that. So we really, we make life really hard for competition climbers. Just suffice to say, we make their lives very difficult.
It's so tough, and this round is like over for them in 20 minutes. It's absolutely savage.
Yeah, and the first 5 minutes, it feels like, okay, I can recover. And then the second 5 minutes in the chair while you're waiting, you think, oh my goodness, I'm still pumped from boulder 1. And by the time you get into the chair before the last boulder, I mean, I've competed off and on for years, and I'm just like, this pump is never going away. I'm just going to try and sprint to the finish.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how well you warm up in the isolation zone, the pump, you get some flash pump. It's brutal. I really like this move. The paddle, right.
Got it.
Nice. Here we go. We might
This
see
is
it.
good. He's got lots of time. Gotta be a little bit patient. Left foot gets okay on top. And just enough. Maybe a little, keep that heel.
Nice. Very nice.
Maybe just realized when he got himself the top, wonderful stuff.
That's big for him.
Yeah.
First guy out.
First guy out.
Got
That's
a top.
gotta feel good for sure. And then Miriam with less than a minute to go, and here you start to make decisions. If I can't get back up there, am I just wasting energy? So we'll see lots of different tactics from the climbers. Maybe some of them less experienced competition climbers. You'll see some World Cup climbers try a boulder twice in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
They'll try it once and go like, I can send that.
Yeah.
And they'll sit for 3.5 or 4 minutes, and it's just your hands start to sweat.
Yeah.
So you'll see some climbers say, no, I got lots of gas in the tank. I can get on this boulder a few more times. And even here, I think Miriam is about to jump back on. 25 seconds to go. I mean, the boulder probably climbs in about 16 or 17 seconds, so she's going to cut it pretty close.
Yeah, and she's been up there. Tough now.
Can't rush it. That shake of the head I know really well.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do, but I'm going to head out.
She stalled it.
Well, that's a great introduction. We got our first testing the waters, as it were.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see a top right
I
out
think
of
the
that.
sales will be kind of happy with.
Yeah, I would think so.
So far.
All right, our next two. So that's Brick Middelberg on the right and Regina Stora on the left. And they are getting ready. So they have 15 seconds, or maybe they don't.
Straight in. Wow.
So, well, we'll figure out as we go. Either our clock is accurate to the clock in the room, which we can't quite see from our vantage point, but there was the discussion of having an extra 15 seconds in transition just to give them time in and out of the chairs. But we'll go with what's on the screen, and if somebody climbs to the top after the time is wound down and the judges still give them the top, then we'll be able to fill you in on that.
The screen is right. For us, the screen.
Yeah, for everyone else, for all of us, for you at home, for us here, we run by what we can see, and we can only have confidence in what we know. And as you're watching that, he's a tall man too.
Big guy. Wow, he's close still in. Wow. Yeah, the Caleb was saying maybe you could right, left, right to the zone, foot plant the wall, but I think their intention was. Do I give away the intention so early?
We've seen it. I do think that Andres did it correctly.
So. Yeah. I think the right, and then foot plant the wall is super cool. It's quite hard to set that move actually.
And it's a slightly different variation on that coordination kind of jump stab that we see a lot of, going sideways and stabbing the wall. Seems easier than trying to stab a holder of volume, but it folds away from you. It's like an open book over there.
Yeah, it's actually really cool how they've used that corner feature. It's often quite hard to set in corner features, but they've done a really good job here. And it's cool that this isn't maybe possible. Maybe we'll see Mika do that. But who knows?
Yeah, you never know with those top end climbers what they're just going to decide they're capable of. I remember watching. There was a big coordination slab at the World Cup a couple of years ago, and most of the climbers were trying to paddle through 3 slopers, and a couple of the Japanese climbers and Sean Bailey stopped and held a swing that was sort of inconceivable. So you never know, what they're going to try to do, and they kind of go outside the box. They go definitely outside sometimes of what you predict. And you kind of have to be okay with it as a route setter, right? Somebody decides to do something you didn't see. If they do the boulder, right?
Yeah, we just have to let them have it. Sometimes it's incredibly impressive, and you're like, wow, fair enough, good job.
Yeah, fair points.
Wow. Yeah, so tell me her name again.
Miriam.
Sorry. Miriam.
Oh, sorry, Regina now. Miriam earlier and Regina now.
Regina, these yellow axis volumes she's standing on, there's actually there are small footholds screwed onto the back of them, and the rest of the surface is fully no texture, so you really need to be precise with your footwork here. This is cool.
Yeah, that's
she's stretched.
Yeah, she looks like she's trying to think about this is a bit of a pop, and that right foot, I guess it's on there, but even that one's it's just questionable. That feeling, if you've had anybody set boulders like that at your home gym, of having that little foot chip on the no-tex where you can, if you slide onto it from too far away, you get too much momentum. You skip right over the top of it. And I've seen, I don't know if you've seen recently, a couple of World Cup climbers playing her in their off-season, jumping traverse boulders on the no-tex and with socks on.
I
think skateboarding, like looking like rail slides.
I think they know it's coming this year in the World Cup season.
Right? It's scary to see them doing. Like, I wondered.
We had a little bit of that in the qualification round. The red boulder I was talking about actually was a foot plant across the slippery surface, stop on a really awful screw-on foothold. Yeah, they're getting quite good at it now.
Yeah, as soon as they get good at something, we have to make it harder, right? It's a game. I used to say that it was.
That was it.
Just needs a little more tension through that, from his core down through his foot placement there.
Yeah, it looked like he hit the foot too low, so he was fully stretched.
Regina back up here, and again sort of lining up this dead point. To the worst part of the volume.
Wow.
Still a minute. Her body language says, yes, I'm going to try that again.
Yeah, I think she can do it.
You have to force yourself to take an extra second. And I think Vic here he's on. That's a zone.
Don't get complacent. Come on. Yeah, nice.
Oh, that's interesting.
So this is actually how they said it was supposed to be done. Good, come on.
That's great control. Rick staring down the finish of this boulder. Is he going to get a little heel hook? He is.
Very nice.
Very done. Again, so both. Nice. He's psyched. Quite the dismount. Very psyched. So both him and Andres. Oh my goodness, Regina just coming off. And that's going to be her last attempt. So they both did it. Let's have a look at this top here. Clever little heel hook. And just getting this match. And that is a happy man right there. That push off from the wall.
Yeah. He slapped it. Nice.
That's excellent work. Well, the women's boulder, definitely stout. And, for the ladies, we're going to have Urska Lepushik, and then we're going to have Pavlo Vekla for the men.
En daarnaast hebben we natuurlijk ook actie in het tweede boulder.
Just having that mime in that first sort of, less than a minute. You've got to solve a sequence. Sometimes it's relatively straightforward. You're like, okay, I see what I need to do. And I've seen climbers spend a full minute trying to sort out what they're going to do in the middle of a boulder. And sometimes they just say, I'm going to let my instincts take over. When I pull on the holds, I'll know what to do. So, you kind of get some people jumping on already. See in the background there, out on boulder number 2, Miriam.
Yeah, we're getting our first look at the power boulders.
Yeah.
These two beefy boulders.
Yeah, that women's boulder, it's steep under there. It's greater than 45 degrees.
Yeah,
it's got to be
sure.
50 approaching 60.
I think 60 at least, yeah. It's cool actually, this is cool. Cool looking boulder. I don't know these holds. Like really open, bad pinches. Very nice.
And there's a little bit of dual text here and there on those, so there's no texture on the spines of these blue boulders. And right away, Urska getting up, well established on the top of the volume. Foot in there, yes. Oh, and that's a flash over there. I didn't notice if she slipped on her first try. I think she might have. You can keep track. There is live scoring. There's a bit of a delay on it. So, we will have some updates, as we go. And then if you want to follow along, it's through the federation's page. So I have to remember what it is, the NKBV page. There is a live result. So we'll kind of keep you appraised as we go. But you can also follow along at home if you like, and then know, of course, that it's provisional and it's going to be delayed by a minute or two. Make sure that we get the scores back and correct.
So I'm hoping we get to have a good look at men's 2. Yeah, super techie, I think.
Yeah, it's just the wrong angle for us to see how it is. But the start, we'll get around to it. You can see the tape how spread out it is, and then you see this position.
And
it's gnarly.
The starting handholds are appalling.
They're so bad.
Awful. Yeah. A very hard boulder to flash, I suspect.
Yeah, a lot has to go right. You have to kind of get the pressure right on the feet. And then you can't overgrip those crimps because they're just round. They're round, basically. They're like, there we go.
Here we go.
A great look.
You can't even see them in the light.
That's how bad they are.
Overexposed.
So they just disappear.
Yeah, they're gone. They're basically nothing. Yeah, some struggling on M1.
Yeah.
Hard to get established. It's actually quite high off the floor.
God, yeah. I wouldn't have. I thought that's one of those boulders where I think I might brush it and wave to the crowd and go back to my chair and save myself 5 minutes of effort.
Not worth it.
And just be like, hey, you know what, guys? I'm pretty sure I'm not going to do this boulder. It's going to be just fine.
Okay.
No.
So we're reading the flip move to start. I wonder if that's the way.
Even there, Andres getting established, and then as soon as he waited the left foot.
Yeah.
And the time starts to tick now. I mean, just when the action is going, it's going to seem like that couldn't possibly have been 5 minutes on that clock. Just over a minute to go. Pablo getting the toe hooks.
He's in. Come on. Yeah, cool move.
It's far to get the foot over early. If you're not able to do them well. Trying to deal with that match. Good look at the change in angle. You can see how steep that is. And then we'll get to it. The gym actually built 2 new wall sections to change it. On the right where that men's 2 starts used to be that same curve all the way through. So they're giving themselves some better for comp setting, right? You don't want to have steep. It's really hard to set.
Yeah, I think so. You kind of, you want somewhere between, like, you want some slab, you want some vert, you want some gentle overhang, but steep cave is really not so suitable for competition. I think it's really cool that they've changed it up this year. Maybe they'll do it every year from now on. That would be awesome.
They've already built it, so might as well. And even then, you could tweak it and throw a big volume on there, and you can do all kinds of interesting things. And it's less predictable. Yeah. Even some of the athletes in us will say, wow, they changed the angle, so we don't really know what to expect in semifinals. They didn't climb on that angle during qualifiers, right? We left all the quali boulders off that angle, so they haven't touched any of those shapes. All right, and just like that, we're moving on again. So Tessa and Jesse are going to get our next attempts on boulder 1, and that's going to put Regina and Rick on boulder number 2, and Miriam and Andres are on deck to boulder number 3, and we're just starting to lean into what the action is going to feel like.
We're moving now, we're moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, props to Energy Haven. They've done an incredible job this year. It's lively out there.
Yeah, it's awesome, and I sort of the 4th year we've done the comp, and it grows every year.
Yeah.
And even in the depth of the route setting field, we got people coming in from all over.
This is a real pro team. Yeah. IFSC chief, and a couple more IFSC setters. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it's cool to see what they get to build. And for some of these sort of less professional athletes, the strong locals as we call them, this would be some of the best route setting that they've probably had a chance to. They might not love it right now, but tomorrow morning, in retrospect, they'll be like, "That was a pretty cool boulder. I fell off for 5 minutes."
Yeah, that was a cool thing we did. Yeah, I made semi-final.
Yeah. Yeah, making semifinals is always a big deal.
Yeah.
A couple of local climbers, a couple of Dutch climbers on the wall on boulder 1 right now. Tessa and Jess. And now we're seeing perhaps one of the versions of how to do this power boulder.
This is interesting now. Oh, the toe is far.
Oh my goodness. I don't have that hamstring flexibility at all. That's not okay.
Whoa.
Is she stuck?
Is she stuck? Whoa. She
looked like maybe. Oh my goodness. And meanwhile,
we have a talk on
Tessa getting it done. So a couple minutes in, that'll be a couple of tries. We should probably do a quick recap. If you don't watch a lot of comp climbing, the goal, of course, is tops. So you want to get the most number of tops you can out of these boulders. And then we care about zones. So every boulder has a hold mark with red and black tape called the zone. And we use that essentially to break ties. So if we have the same number of tops and the same number of tries, we got to have something to split the field, because some of them will only get 1 or 2 tops, and some of them might get 5 tops. So we want to know how many tries it took to get to the zone, and we want to know how many tries it took to get to the top. So a combination of tops, zones, and tries.
And then, of course, we can separate further. It gets kind of complicated, but we can also separate attempts to top and attempts to zone.
So
hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Yeah, hopefully it never comes to that, but it's you focus on tops in the least number of tries. That's always going to be your goal as a competitor. So when you're watching, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to flash every boulder, and if not, they're trying to get it second try. If they don't think they can top the boulder, they're definitely trying to flash the zone every time. One zone in one try. I've seen that be the difference to getting in and out of finals.
Yeah, for sure. And quite often you'll see, 30 seconds to spare, they'll race up and try and get that last chance to the zone. They might not even be going for the top,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would only be gravy if they get the top. And they have a really bad idea of how things are going, because you don't know what people are cheering for, and if you're having what you think is a bad day, you don't know if no one's going to do that boulder. Just because you didn't do it doesn't mean that 19 other people are going to do it. So you kind of have to put it all out there, and even if you're falling a lot, be like, well, maybe everyone else is going to fall a lot too, and 2 zones and 1 top is going to put me into the final. You have to have that belief, or you're not going to get through your 20 minutes.
Yeah, there's always a chance. Come on.
Jesse trying to get that stab over. Vic unable to get established on the start. It's not even the hardest part of that boulder.
Wow.
More to come.
Yeah. Several more incredibly techie moves to follow. Wow, it's pretty brutal, huh?
Yeah. So, Gina here, sort of. And I think there's definitely going to be more than one way to approach the start of this boulder, but it feels like this is the hard way.
Feet first, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I guess the setting team will have tested this pretty thoroughly to make sure you can't feet first.
Or sort of toe hook and crawl your way around, but she's definitely committed to it. She hasn't changed her beta at all. She's bought in to the method.
And I think, unfortunately, it might be too late. Oh no, she's going back.
And she does have she is going to try the other way. 13 seconds to go. Enough time to get a zone at least.
Yeah.
But a lot, imagine the energy spent to this point. I suspect Rick is going to take it down to the wire. Okay, so from a couple of tops right out of the jump to a couple of rounds of not so much.
Yeah. Ups and downs.
Tiba Vroom and Jens de Loo. Around and see that boulder. That's such a good look. Remember, they haven't seen the boulder until that moment when he turns around. And some of them are really good at disguising their emotions, and some of them are, you can tell they're excited, and some of them you can tell they're like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is boulder 1?
We'll see Stasa Gejo.
She wears it. Yeah, you never have to guess with Stasa. And I love that, actually. It's one of my favorite things. And stoic climbers are great. Mika too. Mika's wild, emotional climber. He throws that brain in the eyes when he stops boulders. Definitely keeps it interesting.
Yeah, real characters, aren't they? Okay, so we have on men's three.
Miriam Andres. Andres is showing us.
So these purple pinches are from Rushdam climbing holds?
Yeah, and that's, long time World Cup crusher turned hold shaper. As quite a few people, even Gregor Vezonik, who's climbing, will be climbing later, started shaping holds last year. Do you shape holds?
I haven't so far. The conversations are starting, so hopefully I'll get into it. But yeah, it's a whole process. I've had to play with some foam, but it's harder than it looks.
Yeah, I 100% agree. We were discussing earlier about the creativity of setting roots from scratch, and really someone gives you a square block of foam. Look at that. Really good top from Tiba. Very confident.
Yeah, that was cool.
On the right, getting that with the and a bounce back.
Yeah, the setters will be so happy with that.
And then you see just down on your left side on the red boulder, Miriam this is just.
Ooh, okay.
That's a powerful boulder into a careful boulder, and it's insecure as well. That one is.
It plays with you.
Oh, they're all, as we see them unfold, because we were looking at them earlier, we're excited to see them climbed, and we're excited to see them attempted. So as it sort of unfolds, you guys are you're seeing them for the first time here. But the purple boulder and that red boulder are just, they're a little bit complicated. They're super powerful.
Yeah, I always find it impressive how some of them can go from like a real super power boulder and then into like a delicate, really precise coordination move. It must be super jarring. You just get 5 minutes out on the mat. Whoa, she's
excellent
in. Very
catch.
good.
Just making those no textured feet stick.
So this is a proper comp boulder. We've seen this quite a lot last year actually. This it's called a lache or a swingerling. Some people call it.
I'm a fan of the swingerling.
That's what my German friend Nicky always says. Schwingerling.
Schwingerling. It's even better in German.
Yeah. That's like the move of the year last year, the lache. So a lot of these guys will know what to do.
Yeah, as soon as they turn around and see it, like, okay, that's what we're out for. Jens back up here. Just wonder if he's going to commit to. No, he is going to. Gentle float that. It looked like he was going to try and just sort of swing over slowly and place the feet. Sometimes you have more options than you have attempts.
Yeah.
And the trick to see Mariska swing across the screen on the blue boulder. You have to decide if you're going to keep changing your approach or if you're going to stick with what you're doing even if you're unsure if it's correct. You can try some other things. That's fighting here.
Wow, look at the shoulders, wow. That looks strenuous.
Yeah, small box, very compressed.
Small box, really, really powerful. And it doesn't look like an obvious sequence, it's just shotgun hold on the wall, a scatter.
Yeah, and it plays with you. You think, oh, I could grab that, but can I match it?
Should I? Yeah.
Should I? Yeah, that's even a bigger sub. It's not uncommon to see a red herring or a sucker hold put up there. It's there, but you don't really need it.
Yeah. It happens from time to time, for sure. It's kind of mean, huh?
Mm-hmm. Jens now maybe just figuring out. I suspect that's going to be a technical for blood.
Okay.
So if the difference is if you can, excellent. Jens, oh no!
Ooh,
That's going to hurt with less than 20 seconds to go. He did get the zone. Okay, I love it. He's going to go run, sprint for the top.
Ooh, he knew.
There's times. Oh, look at this. Ruska. Is she going to be the first to tag a zone? 3 seconds, maybe not enough. That's control.
I don't think so.
So a little bit of spice right at the end of the round. And I suspect, hopefully, that Pablo, we're not going to have to pull him on and reinsert him in the order. It's going to make our life very difficult.
Yeah, kind of
to try and reshuffle our order. Generally speaking, as soon as there's blood on the holds, they stop. And while the root setters are cleaning the blood, you have to stop the blood that you're bleeding out from.
Yeah. Put some tape on, fix it up.
Yeah, and if you are unable to stop the bleeding, it's sort of irrelevant what happens to the time. But if you've stopped to the judge's satisfaction and they're still cleaning the boulder, then you get that time added on. So
later,
we won't know until the next boulder if we're going to see Pablo come back out at some point if they leave a gap or not. But they have put the next climber out, so that tells me they're not saving a gap. I've been wrong before.
Let's see.
Gina's swinging around on the left there. And Tessa.
They're all on which boulder? Female 2, the power boulder. They're all kind of trying the flip. The coordination flip move. I'm not sure it's the way. I had a good look. I think
you got in there.
What you can't see is the first volume that's inside the cave is it has kind of like a positive gup position. And you can definitely access that early, but it's powerful.
Yeah, to be able to kind of keep that position, you want to be grabbing holds under that angle. So if you're confident enough to cup the volume, then it's going to serve you well.
Yeah.
But you've got to believe, and that, as you say, the sort of jump flip, if you get it right, is going to feel great.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to get it right.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you try it 4 or 5 times in a row, it starts to wear your skin.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Lisa Clem on the left, a young local. And Tatiana Sordom on the right. Also, look if you can get this foot back on. The tension here.
Come on. Sneak it in.
Oh my goodness, just that right hand, it's bad.
It's terrible.
He's on it forever.
Wow.
That is, every now and then a non-top boulder shows you something, and that is a wild amount of grip strength.
I was kind of concerned that it was too easy, this boulder, but I can assure you it's not.
Wow. Just trying to find the right shape to get his foot kind of tucked through. You saw it tried to go outside, and he tried to go inside.
Yeah, outside or inside. Maybe he need to, let's see. But he's got time.
Yeah, he's got lots of time. He can shake that off, as it were.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe he can use this time to do some stretching.
Just to make a little bit of room, right? trying to get their hips through. There's always you're gonna find people who make a boulder look easy because of their shape and their mobility and how they're able to bend around their own limbs.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have people who are incredibly strong but can't kind of work around their own shoulders. And people who are I can't press behind me. Other people can't get their feet up high. So some people are going to make a boulder look really a lot different. And it's based almost entirely on their mobility and how they can move around their own limbs.
And it's cool because the spread of boulders here is kind of diverse. So hopefully if you can't do dynamic power, you can do techie vert, or you can do some slab later. Let's see.
Yeah, it definitely it pays to keep your head up when you've been knocked around on the first couple of boulders because you don't know when the boulder that's going to pop up that speaks your name. It's almost worse to have, I think, the first boulder be the one that you do,
Yeah.
and then be like, oh, I'm in the zone. Look at me. I'm in the Dockmaster semi. I'm crushing boulders, and then just like, yeah, exactly. Immediately, I'm gonna be in the finals. Like someone texts my mom, and then you just it goes.
Have we seen? Maybe I missed it. Have we seen anyone get established on M2 yet?
We saw. Yes, we saw Brick, not Brick, but we saw Andres established but not released. Meanwhile,
the foot's on.
It is on. He does get a little ghost match. Oh my god! No.
Do you think he got confused there? He held the. He's angry.
Yeah, I think he thinks he made a mistake. He rushed it, and I thought he was going to maybe lean press and reestablish, and he just kind of slid right by.
The back of that top hold is fully no text. You can't use it.
No, at all. So Tess has spent 5 solid minutes kind of stuck in the bottom of the cave, and Regina has got through this opening move but unable to get out. Tadiano is going to go again. He's got this dialed at least.
Ooh, good intervention.
6, 5. Got to get there before it hits the zeros. Wow. I love a buzzer beater, but I didn't think we were going to get one there.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, excellent effort.
Look, we have the 15-second timer now.
Yeah.
Got it.
We're back on track. So just enough time to kind of to breathe in between. So this is Dunya Sinke. And for the men, we have Edvards Grudzic. I see him. That's in the chair. This is his. That's Tadiano's 5 minutes thinking about having his left hand on the top.
What could have been?
What could have been? Dropping tops, maybe more demoralizing than not getting established on the start for 5 minutes. If you had to pick, which would you rather never have to encounter?
Oh, that's tough. Yeah, not getting established actually. I think that's savage.
Yeah, at least dropping tops, you got a zone.
Yeah.
Not getting established, you start to question your life decisions. You're like, why am I here?
Yeah. How did I make it?
So we do have a technical. So you see there's no one on boulder 1. So we're brushing boulder 1. So no Edvards.
We're supposed to have Edvards,
We're going to have a... We'll hear... maybe someone will come back with some information. Who knows? It could be an Edvards issue. It could be a boulder issue. It could be that we're waiting and we're going to reinsert Pavlo with the amount of time he had left. So we'll let you know when we know. And otherwise that, we're just going to call it like we see it.
The moments you hate as a commentator.
Yeah, like, what's happening? And then you're in your ear and you think, someone will tell me what's happening.
Hopefully.
And then I heard in my ear, we're not sure. We know there is some sort of technical issue, so for that we're going to look now. We got our first look at boulder 4, Andres. So it's not, it was Pablo that was bleeding, so yeah, we'll see. But Andres here, the start of this boulder, gross, and then Miriam.
You think it's
carefully.
gross?
I mean,
this was the one that stood out for me. I really like the look of this boulder. Squirmy volume work. Ooh.
And then Miriam moved very slowly across the intro, and he's still got so much travel to jump.
Yeah, he's got to go far. I wonder if he needs to transfer onto the top of the zone volume. Hold down.
The slightest sort of shift. That's a discussion from the judge. So he might have put his finger in a bolt hole, which you're not allowed to do. You can't take any features of the climbing wall itself, because he was pointing, and he was definitely looked like he was maybe trying to stay established. Maybe he stuck a finger in the volume, trying to be clever.
In the volume, he's allowed to use it. If it's T-nut on the wall, you can't use it. Yeah.
Climbers on all the boulders,
There we go.
but nobody. I mean, just a lot of the start.
A lot of standing. Yeah.
And do remember, we go in reverse order, so 20th, and they're at a level in which we need to get top 10 down, top 15. We've got to work into the top 6. Every now and then you get a dark horse. You get somebody who had a bad qualifier or a weird experience that's going to blow through the boulders and end up in the final from starting deep in the field on a semi. But it's relatively rare.
I actually have a dark horse, hopefully in the fight.
Oh, good. Who's that?
Well, we'll introduce him next. He's coming up.
Excellent. So here it's a good look at.
This is super cool.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. It's gross in terms of I wouldn't want to do it because it would make me angry. But it's a very cool.
Yeah.
The movement that's pieced together is very cool.
This is all me. I think this is the sort of boulder I would say. Wow, it looks really hard. You have to fully transfer to the left side, I think.
Yeah.
By the looks of it.
And again, the arête is not an arête. It's so. I mean, it's like.
It's
175 degrees.
Yeah, it's there. You can't use it. You might slide along it, slow yourself down.
Just to see if you feel good about yourself. Just got a look right at her hand. Like, you've let me down. A minute to go. No tops yet through this group. I see Miriam on the left sort of getting almost across on the slab on boulder 4, but not quite carrying the balance around through the corner.
Hard to tell if you can stop in the corner or you have to keep going to the zone.
You're looking at a lot of things at the same time.
Yeah.
30 seconds to go. Dunia making some progress. And on the start, wins. Getting the zone. So that's the first zone on men's 2 that we've seen. Getting almost back. Is she going to get it? 5 seconds to match. Yes. Right down the little strobe lights coming off beside us. That is as close as you're going to get to a buzzer beater. That's excellent work to kind of stay stuck in.
We'll take that
every time. So we have Evdoxia Kala, and as yet to be seen who we have on boulder 1. It's either going to be Edwards or... we're all waiting. I promise. Nobody knows. A good look at the crowd here. And Matt Cousins.
No, this is Edwards.
Oh, this is Edwards.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So we had. So there's a small gap. For some reason that we actually don't need to know about.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect us either way, whether or not we know why Edwards is pushed back 1 spot. So we'll just, here we go.
Edwards has been pretty big on the World Cup scene last year. Young guy, tall, very strong. Ooh, already you can see he's...
Yeah, just kind of doing what he wants, basically.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd call him a dark horse, but he's got a chance. He's got a chance for the final.
to fight
for
his
sure.
way up.
Yeah. Casual.
Really nice. And look on boulder 3, Tessa making some progress. Not being able to make it stick. Sorry, Lisa Clem on boulder number 2. I jumped over.
Yeah.
To remember where they all are on the map.
It's tough to keep track, huh?
Yeah.
Women's 1, it looks like we're going to see it top.
Yeah, just once they get established on that big volume and they get their feet under them, it's pedestrian but careful.
Yeah, you got to go careful. Hopefully you've saved enough skin over the qualifying round.
An interesting. We didn't really talk about it too much. I talked about it in isolation with a couple of the athletes about the format. An interesting flash round where they had 2 hours and 6 boulders, but they only had 5 attempts per boulder. They didn't have to take them all at once, so they could try a boulder, walk away, and come back. Introduces a little bit of risk if you especially on the lower percentage movements or the powerful boulders. You sort of miss it twice, and now 3 attempts is we're shrinking the window down quite a bit.
Suddenly it's quite stressful. I was surprised when I heard about this format, but seeing it this morning, it's pretty cool. Kind of makes sense. Just six boulders of varying styles. It allows the athletes to almost stay fresh, I suppose. If you had a tour of, say, in the UK, quite often we'll do like a 25 boulder tour, and it's too much.
And then you still have to climb later, right?
Yeah.
You learn how to skin. You learn how to push pull. It's super difficult.
Ooh, here we go. We have a win.
Crusher, Lisa Clem.
Come on, Lisa. Wow.
So So that one hand enough to establish the zone. You need to control the zone hold, and you have to make a climbing related movement.
Yeah,
so
like
if you shuffle the foot, readjust your hips, you're going to get that zone.
Yeah.
Especially here, the judges are probably going to be less critical than an IFSC judge. That looked to be, as you said, that wry smile of, I'm not sure that was the right way to do that.
Yeah, worth a try then.
Yeah, worth a try. Yeah, so we probably won't need to get into the subtleties of whether or not someone, gets or doesn't get a zone. Of course, some of them do have coaches here, so you never know. You might see we can appeal. So if a judge doesn't give you something and you think you deserve it, you're able to come back and they'll check the video footage. So if you think you got a shot to get into the big show, you might be scrapping for it.
Yeah. Look, Regina is sticking to this method.
Mm-hmm.
What's she gonna do?
It's hard to kind of. Is she going to go back? No.
I can actually understand why she's doing it. The foot she's on is super small, like really on its butt actually, so it's quite hard to foot swap. So there you go.
She's making it work, and look at here on boulder number 2. This is as much as we've seen. Able to flip the zone.
Wow.
So we've seen non-established, we've seen start established but nothing, we've seen zone but nothing pass, we've seen the hold after zone but unable to establish. So we're one move at a time. We are piecing together men's 2, and with 30 seconds, I suspect that Tadiano is going to walk away. That's a proud zone at this moment.
Yeah, that's a big zone for him. Yeah. That might be valuable.
Yeah, definitely valuable. Yeah, there's definitely, as the rounds sort of unveil themselves, there's some zones and some tops that become like super good currency. Oh, Regina. And a good first look at the size of the jump from Rick, sort of getting up there, but not in enough control to do anything about it.
Yeah.
So we're going to say that's the end of their round, and that's sort of, you see them, they come and go.
It's fast paced, huh?
And that's it.
And here
Boom,
he
out we
is.
go. There
Look
he is.
at him go. So this is Matt. This is a very good friend of mine.
Okay.
I sat with him, once a week.
Awesome.
He part-time mechanic, part-time route setter, full-time bad man.
I'm assuming that's coming from the horse's mouth.
No, that's from me.
Excellent. Oh, Matt Cousins. I did watch him climb this morning, and he put in some good work.
Yeah, he's legit. He won the BBCs in the British Bouldering Championships in 2016. I like to joke that he's passed it. He's calling this competition his comeback.
Oh, it's not a swan song, but a comeback. Okay.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I'm not allowed to be biased, though, am I?
Yeah, you are. You absolutely are. That's the beauty of this, of the style and the event that we're in here. That you get to, you can pick favorites and you can do kind of whatever you like.
Yeah. Cool.
So I'm here for it. I'm here for a good old-fashioned bias.
You have to be impartial.
I'm going to try to be impartial. but I'm going to embrace your decisions. People are now falling off slightly higher up as we go.
Yeah. Progress is being made. It's cool.
See, just on boulder 3, Tiba. That move. It doesn't look that big, but the angle change, I think, is maybe contributing.
Out of the cave?
Yeah, on the red boulder.
Oh, the red body. Yeah. Caleb was saying, it's a lache. Maybe you can understand the move, you see the move, but they're like intentionally slightly awkward, slightly uncomfortable. Often with a swing move or a lache, it's really difficult to establish the right swing direction, and I suspect that's the case here. Also, the left foot she's landing on is fully no texture.
Yeah, and you need to be super careful, and that when you need to focus about 3 or 4 things happening at once, you don't want it to be just one.
Yeah. So Matt just gave those volumes a good brush. I think he knew what to do. He had a good attempt. We will still with you. Checking our cables here.
Adjustments.
Push it out, Yeah. Your feet don't want to cut early. You want to take the cut yourself rather than the wall take it for you.
Yeah, you want to be driving the bus. You know, it's fine to have that kind of swing if you're ready and you're initiating for sure.
Yeah.
It's tough to react to, but hands on hips, I know that feeling too. Is either what do I do, or can I, or should I have? There's some thoughts running through there.
Okay.
Tiba carped in the corner.
The swing. Let's see. Yes.
Making that
good.
work.
That was casual. Yeah.
It seems like they can't get the directionality.
I think because the volume is so steep, it's really hard to push down on it.
And then we have Orska getting as good as we've seen on Boulder 4, not quite getting into the compression properly. Matt didn't take much of a rest. He had lots of time on the clock. Lots.
Come on,
splits.
This is the match.
This is hard to release from. Is he known for this?
Actually, no.
Well, he is now.
He's making it really tacky, actually.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
This looks good. Once that heel's locked in.
I hope the heel doesn't hold him back early on. Nice.
Oh, he's got us. No. That's what we call the commentator's curse. So you basically, unfortunately, made that happen by predicting it. Yeah, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. So he's going to watch this back and he's going to be like, I had that.
I'll stop him from watching it back.
You won't let him just skip that. Oh, he's going to go.
I'm sorry, Matt.
Boulder 3, Jens the Low also making progress here, sort of snuck through while we were focusing on Matt and Orska. 15 seconds? No. Enough to get into the zone. And then Tiba, she's going to fight.
Yeah, she's got that first move drilled. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, with 6 or 7 seconds to go, I mean, she already had the zone. I guess you're like, I don't think it's going to make me any more tired. No. I know that the last boulder's low angle because you know where you are on the wall, so I guess you can kind of throw one more out there.
Yeah, just in case.
So Boyan Kirov and Amber Scheffeliers up next. Having a good look, piecing it together. So you'll see some climbers choose to brush the holds. To make yourself look a little harder, but also sometimes to get a feel for the angle.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. Sometimes you can get feedback just from the brush, like poke it in. Yeah.
Lisa Clem, making no mistakes on her flash attempt. This will be pretty big for current standings.
Come on.
Let's try to sort through. I don't think the top of this has too many surprises other than insecure footing.
Yeah.
Lisa Clem, who's going to be a local favorite. The crowd is going to go pretty wild every time she gets up a boulder.
They enjoyed that for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. First top. Very cool.
Yeah, that's great. So, third place last year. So she's been here before. She's young.
She knows the deal.
Yeah, I did hear I overheard some people talking during the qualifiers that they think that she sort of has the pedigree to be, a consistent World Cup athlete. So time will tell, of course. But at this point, she's looking quite good and
remember her
very
name.
quick work. Yeah, write that down. As we see the fight on Boulder 2.
We've still not seen too much progress on men's 3.
No, I mean, into this mess, into the, as you say, the splatter pattern, that's about as far as we've seen.
I have a feeling this is, for the top 6 guys.
Yeah.
This is super hard.
Yeah, and remember, of course, I think we'll just say it, as many times as we need to, that the last third of the field are World Cup veterans. So you've got to keep a couple boulders in reserve for them to have to fight on, and Mika, Gregor are gonna crush one, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I was gonna say one, I'm gonna stop because they're not gonna crush 2 necessarily. Maybe 2. Maybe one is the easy one, quote unquote.
Wow, yeah, easy. Start them off easy. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, you're quite right. Maybe 2 is just super hard. Doesn't matter how good you are.
Yeah.
Just super hard. Yeah, it's kind of unfathomable looking.
Boyan deciding how to, skipping.
All
That's
the way.
powerful.
Nice.
That's powerful.
Confident too, to go that far. Wow.
Jesse getting into this perch position, and we've only seen one climber even try to escape it with some momentum and power. And you know, I think you and I agree that it's got to be a jump.
Yeah.
Nobody's tall enough. No one's grinding this boulder out.
No way.
But it looks like he's thinking about it. And a top there from Boyan on the right, and you see even Tediano getting through the zone on purple.
Come on.
Number 3.
Not quite the zone. Oh, sorry.
I think that's the zone. I think it is.
Ooh. Need to zoom in.
Yeah. Let's see brushing. There we go.
I think the zone is like a small,
the side
small
pull.
undercut side pull thing. Yeah.
Correct. I'm remembering there's so many holes there.
Yeah, I know. It's a mess, huh? Silly route setters.
Silly route setters. Making everybody's lives difficult. And then I was like, there's a moment where everybody's taking a breath at the same time.
Yeah.
So 8 climbers climbing and 7 of them standing, thinking.
I wonder if they're looking over at each other at all.
I mean, they are definitely, you'll catch them getting sideways glances at the boulder that's coming up. It's tough to ignore.
Yeah.
You don't want to try and get caught up in it because that's not going to serve you very well to not focus on the boulder you're on in the moment. But yeah, you definitely have a quick glance and be like, why is no one cheering on the left side of the wall right now? No one who goes over to the left side of the wall has generated any excitement.
So far.
Ooh, that looks,
powerful.
Yeah, pretty much getting into that same position that we've seen so far and just unable to either generate or compress or, coordinate. 20 seconds left now. We see Jesse back up on the left side of your screen. God, he does get the left up. Okay.
Oh, he thinks it's a toe catch. Interesting. That could be.
Stood up but didn't have to jump. But definitely got his foot was high and inside. It looked uncomfortable.
Yeah, it didn't quite look. Yeah, I know what you mean. Didn't look right. Yeah.
Alicia May and Sergio Verdasco puts Julija and Matt on boulder 2.
Sergio did quite well last year, I think.
Yes.
Did he make the podium, I believe?
No, he didn't make the podium last year. Just a second. I have to pull up the other half of my notes. Yeah, Sergio was second last year. You're right.
Ah, nice.
Yeah,
cool.
That's
Sergio is
memory.
a IFSC setter. He's also a Squadra Holds ambassador. We don't have any Squadra on the wall tonight, so I wouldn't.
We have them here, but they might be finals boulders. We'll run through. There's a lot of hold sponsors that make this event go through. So extensive sponsors list. We'll get to them kind of in the middle of the field. We'll give you a rundown of who's helped to put the Dockmasters on. A lot of hold sponsors, and all of these semifinal boulders are one hold manufacturer per boulder, which is kind of cool.
It's like a hold showcase, basically. Yeah. Felicia on female 1. Felicia climbs in London quite a lot, actually. She's very strong.
Clearly. Yeah, she made that look to be no problem.
Yeah. Very dynamic. But yeah, she can still climb the vert. So we'll see her on the dynamic stuff later.
Nice. And then, I love the brushing crew is, they're basically the pit crew of climbing competitions. So you have work to do, but you get a front row seat. So you get to sit on the mats, but you got to do a lot of overhead scrubbing to keep your job.
And you get on the live stream as well.
Look at me, I'm doing work. Here we go.
Let's check back in with Matt, shall
Matt
we?
here
He's
getting established.
Okay, nice.
It's like the same move, but other side. And look, establishing the zone there on boulder 2, Julija, but not being able to move out of it. So that's 2 people we've seen get the zone on women's 2. Just kind of getting that undercling, but not being able to reestablish their feet underneath them.
Yeah, it's always hard coming out of the cave, that aggressive change of angle, like what to do with your feet. on especially bad pinches, remember. Yeah.
A good look at the careful step through. Tiba. Oh, great catch.
Arete is not good.
No, it's terrible.
Good effort, Tiba.
Yeah.
And this foot is also quite poor, but they can do something with it. Come on.
She gets that with coming into the
Oh, the foot pop.
That's 2 in a row basically for you.
You
did say the foot is quite poor.
Yeah, damn.
And then off it came. So
I'll stop speaking.
Yeah, maybe just take a breath or two. But it does highlight how bad that foot is. She was super established. We'd seen earlier a couple of the women trying to come into that compression dynamically and not be able to hold the swing. She did it really slowly, and then even under tension, that foot just kind of slid right off. So she needs to shake that off. And on boulder 2 now, Julija Kruder getting 1 hold further than anyone else so far.
Wow.
Cutting the feet through.
Contortion, here we go.
Oh my goodness, and that Cousins here just in the middle right of your screen, getting the current, at least positional high point.
We have a good angle, come on Matt.
Yeah, this is great. The angle of this boulder. Oh my goodness, it's so bad that it's hard to describe how bad that hold is. Yeah, that's as good as anyone's looked on the boulder. With 1 minute and 12, he'll get at least 1 more good try.
Yeah, for sure. A bit of progress on lens 3. Purple pinches.
So that looks like brick. So we made room for him to come back out and insert himself on boulder 3. I'm also a little bit impressed with how the judges do that, like where they put the pause to give people their time back. Perfect handprint, not quite where it needed to be. Small compression is very difficult. Sort of shoulder width, wide compression tends to be a little more friendly, but that like inside your shoulders, that's as
wide you can often relax and just rely on your arm span. The narrow is fully active. It's never passive. And it's really aggressive on the elbows.
We're both pointing to the inside of our elbows. I mean, I've had that pain shooting all the way inside my biceps before. 15 seconds to go. Julija.
Do you know anything about competition bouldering? You know Julija? Come on.
3 fingers to stick. That volume's good, but my brain can't reestablish. Wow. Oh, that's as close. And his hands to the forehead. So we're going to pull up results now. So have yourself a quick look. See what's what. Oh my goodness, I just clicked over him on my link here, and the link died. So maybe we have a similar problem over on our technical side, but we'll get to the results when we get to them. As we can follow along at home. At this point, it's tough to put any predictions in place. As we say, the top half of the field should probably overtake the lower half of the field pretty much across the board, with a few exceptions. But hang in there. We'll get you updated as we need to. And this is interestingly not. So on the women's side, here we go. So a quick look at the results at this point. So that's going to be boulders 1, 2, 3, 4 across. The green is going to be a top, and then in the numbers you're going to see how many tries. So currently, Elisa Clement leading the way, 2 tops and 3 zones, 3 total tries to get through that.
So what do we see? If you want to make finals, you have to top.
Yeah,
boulder
absolutely.
1.
You have to top boulder 1 for sure. And then on the men, a little sparser on the green side of the equation.
Significantly.
So a few tops on boulder 1, and then a desert of zones even. And then we get into Diano getting zones across the board, but no tops. So that you can't afford to miss the boulder that everybody's topped, and then to be seen what's going to get coming up after that. Maybe there was a change in order. I had Chloe Koskoy coming out next, but it looks to be Sunniva Ikave on boulder number 1. So I'll catch up.
Well pronounced.
That's
a tough one. Yeah.
We'll look down on the left side. Lisa, who's been storming through and has been the best of the field so far.
Yeah.
We'll see what she does with this kind of very delicate swap.
Yeah, it looks like fast now, huh? Yeah, nice. Very cool.
Yeah, great control.
Wow, another foot pop for Lisa there. Wow.
Careful brushing. You feel the pressure when you're on the last boulder.
Yeah.
You know that the work you've done up to that point, there's nothing you can do about it. It's already in the book. And you always sort of feel, even if you only top one boulder, you feel that you have your own destiny by getting that. If you can get one last top, maybe you can walk away and sneak your way in. You know, at least you walk away feeling good for a little while. But I always find the last boulder to be a bit melancholy.
Yeah. Leave everything on the mats. Go all in.
Yeah, you kind of run the clock down to zero no matter what. There's no
sure.
reason to pause. Sometimes people even taking less rest.
Yeah.
Sort of the desperation side of bouldering kicks in.
It's kind of cool that the slabs are last actually, because they don't need to rest as much. You would expect.
And they force slower climbing.
Yeah.
Piano getting as close as anybody we've seen.
Very, very bad volume that. Hard to hold.
Lisa's
in.
And she get around. Careful volume walk. She looks like she's lining up to the right. See the lights flashing in the HUD. Someone's topped something.
Yeah, the DJ's doing a great job.
Yeah, the DJ is excellent.
Our booth is shaking.
Yeah. Love this crowd. Sold out semifinals.
Yeah, nice.
Finals are also sold out.
Nice.
They released extra tickets, so
nice. You know what?
Locally, this comp's super popular.
It's cool that they do the semi-final on a Saturday night and then the final on the Sunday. They split it up. It's not like you have a slightly less exciting Sunday semi-final. Sometimes these competitions were like that. You do a qualifier on the Saturday and then you do the semis and the finals on the Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah,
you have a proper Saturday night.
Yeah, exactly. You get to spread the love out a little bit. And then there's another recreational climbing around tomorrow. So there's 2 groups of rec climbers. Climbing a group of 50 boulders. So the local setting team, the non-master setting team, has done an insanely good job putting up 50 boulders. And I think the pro qualifiers are in that group of 50. So you can test yourself.
They're included.
Included with your price of admission. You too can see. Oh, there we go, Lisa. Getting just the right amount of tension. Already going to see the first top of women's number 4. Nice. I mean, she's just a knee scum. Excellent.
Yeah, just take both feet off and clamp the erect. Very cool.
Look at this. And she only had a handful of seconds to go. Yeah, right foot came off. And I think she's just compressing the erect with her knee.
Yeah,
that's
literally.
Excellent work.
Yeah, nice.
Super exciting stuff from Lisa Clem. That's going to put her in position. I mean, at this point, she looks good to be, in the running.
That's hopeful. She's done a good job.
Yeah.
And now we have Chloe.
Yeah, there's Chloe. So just a little flip in the running order. These things happen. We get a provisional list, and then we know what's happening when people appear in front of us on screen. Chloe Koskoi, American, but also she's French. She's from France, so you hear people sort of are confused the first time they hear Chloe speak. They're like, well, she's American, but she speaks like a Parisian.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I spoke to her a little bit earlier and then in isolation. So she spent a couple weeks climbing in Japan, where people go to get strong. Just look at that. That's the worst part of that volume. And whether that's going to haunt her or not, and that one's on me. I suspect it wasn't going to be an issue. And then look at this. Oh my goodness. Sergio racing up boulder number 2. And then just coming off the top. Lots is going on right now. Julija coming off the second, last move of boulder 3. And then right away, Dunya coming around the corner on boulder number 4. So Chloe wasting no time.
Right, back on.
And maybe should be a little more careful. You can sometimes overconfidently climb a boulder.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't need this. I don't need that extra foot. I'm just going to grab all the holds I know. But maybe this time, I'll just be like, okay.
Just take it careful.
Easy does it.
Steady. Bam. Wow. That's powerful.
Yeah.
Nice.
slightly different approach, and she's going to be able to reach through. That's quite a lot of like end range power to have that much extension.
Yeah.
It's
showing some experience there.
Yeah. A quick look. I was a quick look at the fingertips. Yeah, I think I'm still okay. It's always nice to get also a flash out of the way. I mean, she just gets an extra 3 minutes of rest, which compounds as you go through the rounds. The quicker you flash boulders, the more energy you put in the bank for, especially in this case, boulders 2 and 3 are, where we're asking the power to come out.
Yeah, it really stacks up, especially for, the second boulder, for sure. So will you have a climb tomorrow? Are you here tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm here tomorrow.
Sorry, of course. Of course you are. You're doing the finals. You're going to have a climb
I'll
tomorrow.
be around. I think I'm gonna climb in the rec. I'll put get here in time, have a coffee, and put my shoes on.
I think you should.
Some of the route setting is so good. It would be a shame not to.
It's awesome, and it's really accessible. Like most of the boulders out there, everyone can try. It's so cool. They did a great job.
Yeah, it's. I'm a fan of. I like seeing new boulders. I like seeing new movement. I like figuring things up. And so for me, I like solving boulders and trying to flash stuff. And look at this. Looking really comfortable, but not able to put the last move together.
Sergio climbs quite a lot in Fontainebleau, so I think this style is right up his street. Super technical, bad feet.
And is she gonna keep that here? That might.
Wow, all the way. Ooh, maybe not. Tough ass there.
She got out of the cave. Kind of no problem. You just need to. A lot of boulders will kind of back you into a corner once you make a decision. It's hard to reverse. On them, we see our first top of boulder number 3. Snuck up the corner. Julija Kruder. Second top.
I think second.
Second top.
I think. Did you see Lisa?
We did see Lisa do it. Yeah, I was just saying you can make a decision and then realize that you're not going to be able to extricate yourself from it. You sort of can't get through. You can't complete the move and get to the next hold. But you can't back it off.
You can't reverse it. Yeah,
and the right thing to do is drop off the boulder.
Yeah.
You see climbers jump off as though like they're chewed. They haven't slipped. They haven't run out of gas. You just see them jump off, and you think, what on earth are they doing? It's because they can't reverse the position.
They just know. They know they've got themselves into a trap. Start again. Try something different. Was that you or me?
No, that was neither of us. We're good.
Okay,
we're good.
Whoa! Felicia manages the flip
around.
move. Wow, that's her style. Cool.
I mean, even the reach to that, to squeeze that pinch, like that. Yeah, really strong work. Will Sergio go one more time? I just saw him fall out of frame. I don't think so. 15 seconds not enough. And Alicia can't get. She got up there and then just so much gas. Sergio might be regretting that drop. Oh, Junia, not quite. So the clock, almost nobody's friend on this round. And Sergio, as close as anybody, had the last hold in his hand. And just to, if we needed to reinforce to you how bad the opening handholds are, that's the foot that blew standing on the opening handholds.
Yeah, good spot.
So, ouch. Those are, it's gnarly all the way through, but very snappy, right? He's a very snappy climber. He has quite a lot of pop in his movements.
Yeah.
All right, and this is, so again.
You spoke to Paul before the round, huh?
Yeah, in the, he looked to be in good spirits. He looked confident. He was talking about, coming up, the qualifications for the Dutch team are still at play. So he's still got work to do coming up, relatively soon. He's only 20 years old.
Is he? Wow.
Yeah, he's still kind of living through his European Youth Cup days, so he's podiumed a few times. And he knows what's up.
You see him there, he's stopped on the middle volume.
Yeah,
he's a tall guy too.
Extra squeeze.
Yeah.
And we must have had another squat, because I had him coming out sooner, so we'll try and catch up to where we are on the men's side. But that is really good work.
Good stuff. Perfect start.
Yeah.
Almost. Did he flash it?
Yeah, he flashed it.
Yeah.
And no mistakes, no wasted movements.
Straight in. Positive.
You see him here hold this swing like it's really nothing.
Yeah.
Even that with that left hand across his body. Good stuff. A little bit of security, just making sure. Far left side of your screen and the middle.
Lots going on.
Yeah,
now.
top
What
on
have we got?
one and
Oh, we have a top on men's too.
just like that.
There you go. Is this a dark horse moment? Do we know?
Good question. I think that's Slava.
Yeah.
And then over here, Evdoxia getting. Couldn't tell in the excitement if she dropped this one or grabbed.
Yeah.
She did manage. That little left foot slip makes her heart stop. Yeah, sports action. Things happening all at once here.
Wow, and the Laere looked really cool there.
That was our first top of men's number 4. That's Edwards. Wow. Just sort of
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Made it work.
We have tops now. It's
Yeah.
all happening.
Now tops are happening. We're about to see if there was another gap or if they just flipped the order. So, as I say, we do our best to keep up. Anything that happens through the judges and through isolation, we don't know until they step out on boulder number 1. So, again, if you see the wrong name pop up on the graphic, it's because everybody's learning at that exact moment that that's not who we were expecting to come out from the running order that we have in front of us. So. We got bib numbers, but again, I don't know how good your eyesight is, but for me, I can't read a bib number from here.
I'm not reading the numbers, no way.
Yeah, we recognize, obviously handfuls of climbers, but there's some gaps in our knowledge, so we do our best.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
Yeah. So Neva.
Wow, that is like perfect Laere execution.
Yeah,
really, really
left
impressive.
side on the red.
Bam, bam. Yeah,
Sticking that, so Amber very confidently moving through boulder 3. Just trying to get the footwork right. Good catch. Heel hook. Oh my goodness.
The
Technical at the top. The feet get really far away.
The feet on this boulder, kind of mean. They're no text again, which we see, and they're all directional, so you can't stand straight down, which is always
Yeah, that's what you want to do is stand
You
down.
wanna
And
stand
they're
straight
all, it's hard to generate momentum. It's hard to stop momentum.
Yeah.
Oh, that.
He's casual. He's relaxing.
Very casual. So that's Boyan. So he's where he's supposed to be on the running board. Look at that.
He's got a knee bar. He's got
Just a scum and a toe hook.
Oh, nice.
Turning that, so it's very technical to come through there. And really some faith in that last hold. I mean, he knows that not many people have done that. There's been a lack of cheering on the left side. Excellent climbing. Look at this. Just getting a little moon kick, depending on how you call it these days.
Yeah, what do we call it? Or
I'm a
cypher,
pixie
or
kick.
I like pogo.
Yeah, pogo's the new school. Moon kick is, OG original. And then in Canada, we called it a pixie kick for quite a long time.
Yeah, I quite like that. I quite like that.
Just to let you know the breadth of how the language changes. We just back in the day just called it open hand climbing, but now all the youth say 3-finger drag. So people are familiar with 3-finger drag as a hand position. They drop their pinky, whereas I would just call that open-handed climbing. So don't ever feel bad if somebody uses a term that you're unfamiliar with. It could be really old, it could be new, it could just be that our sport sometimes creates language, and a lot of things are really regional. So I know that sometimes, as we see Laura, I suspect is going to just do what Laura does. So we're into the thick of it now. On this part of the field, we're into the top 6 climbers, and there we some World Cup veterans on here. But yeah, the sport can sometimes seem to be difficult to connect to because it can feel very cliquey and it can feel like there's lots of knowledge. People don't even know the terminology. I teach some clinics at my home gym. In the intro to climbing, we literally talk about pinches, slopers, like volumes. Look at this.
Oh my God, Matt
Cousins making it look good.
Yeah, he's finished in style. That's cool.
Yeah, that's a strong flash of the last boulder. Good job. Excellent.
Yeah,
as you see a slow-mo of Julija disappointedly coming off the corner in the background. That worked out. Matthew Ternant. Who's making her way up Boulder 1?
Very experienced for her age.
Yes, my goodness.
If you watch World Cups, you'll have seen Laere.
Yeah, I mean, even in her youth days, right? She was
Boulder.
back-to-back world champion
Yeah.
in 2018, 2019. And, I mean, she's the third woman to climb 9A+.
It's incredible.
It's
isn't it?
incredible.
Yeah. I actually don't know if she's qualified for the Olympics yet. If she hasn't, maybe she will.
Maybe she will.
Hey, Sergio.
And
Nice.
things are starting to happen in the bright lights. Oof. You saw the left foot insecurity there, highlighted.
Which is your favorite boulder so far?
I mean, I think I like men's too.
Yeah.
I think I like the insecurity. I think I like the power. I think I like the amount of tension you need to hold to get through it. It doesn't just give up. As we saw, the progression of climbers kind of getting half a hold further. So right now for me, it's men's too. Yeah, you?
Yeah, it could be 2, it could be 4, and then for the women, I like the look of the slab on the far left.
That's my favorite women's boulder for sure.
I'm a big fan of like techie footwork. This is cool.
Yeah, and not being able to just sort of jump and squeeze, like getting the amount of angle on those kind of slopey pinches so that it's not easy to do this move. That's really hard to do. So I think this is technical setting as good as it gets at the top of this boulder.
Yeah.
Julija is going very carefully cross out.
No problem.
Oh, just make it. I love that. Is it the hold on top of the line? Yeah, now she didn't hear the judge, so double check.
Okay.
Double check maybe. She kind of touched the volume, which World Cup rules, that's what's taped out.
Yeah.
So she just definitely made doubly sure. You never want to jump off a boulder not having been given the judges okay that you've topped it.
Heartbreaking, that must be. You have to go and do it all over again.
Yeah. And we've seen it, right? It's definitely not the first or the last time we'll see somebody, not show or establish the way they think they should have. All right, Chloe Koskoy, who I would have bet a small sum of money would have done this boulder in only a couple of tries, does the flip quite smoothly. And let's just see what's giving her trouble. That pinch, I guess, maybe the zone is you can't really establish.
Yeah. Hard to pull down on vertical pinches, especially if they're flared so much as this zone is.
Yeah, that's important to recognize. You're right, is that the zone hold just gets wider.
Yeah.
There is you can't get your thumb around on it. You're almost creating compression, right hand to left foot.
Yeah.
No, she's staring at it like she is going to do it one more time, or she's deciding, yeah, there we go. Over on your left side. Alicia into and they both, and Chloe might be preserving skin. Every time they look at their fingertips, repeatedly, I always think that maybe they're worried about getting thin.
Yeah.
She's going to walk away. Maybe a zone on the first try, we didn't see it. And then not trusting the foot.
Felicio slipping on the no-tex there. Wow.
And that's why it's done that way.
Yeah. Oh, it's all intentional.
Yeah.
Good job, setters.
And then remember that as we look at the results here, you're going to see a bit of a scatter plot because different people have different skill sets. So just because the boulder got done early doesn't mean everybody coming after will do it, and vice versa. So just because you crushed all the boulders up to this point doesn't mean that you're just going to walk down all of them. A little bit more consistent on the women's side for one, and then Lisa still sitting, putting herself the class of the field to this point. And with, let me do some math here. That 1, 2, 3. I mean, she could still get bumped. She could still get bumped out by somebody who puts, if they all put 4 tops down. But I would say that 3 tops and 4 zones is looking quite good right now.
Very good, I would say. Yeah.
So we have Slav Kirov, and then we have Elnaz Rekabi will be out on women's 1. And if Paul is on 2, then our notes are right. And as a veteran now of the World Cup circuit, she's been there, climbing consistently through since 2014.
Oh, cool.
there we go. There's the top on Boyan. I suspect that's a flash. Giving him time on the clock. Slava doing boulder 3, so back-to-back tops.
Slava's doing very well.
Yeah.
I really like his short.
Yes, they're
He's done
very
well.
short.
Short and pink. He's making a statement there. It's pretty cool.
Oh my goodness, and now...
Boy, that penultimate hold is so bad.
Yes.
Wow.
We're getting up there, but not being able to escape to the finish. And Slav is going to... Might have missed the first move once or twice, but the top's a top. Just like that, business work getting done. Boulder 1, so we just we brush and move on. And Amber here making it work. She's also, we're about to find out if touching the volume is enough. She didn't look disappointed, so. Foot is so high. Just being extra careful.
Yeah, that's good.
It's good.
Yeah, nice.
No problem. And then back to a slide on boulder 2 for the men. People unable to do it. After crushing boulder 1, right? You see Paul, who's undoubtedly strong enough.
Clearly strong enough, yeah.
And just being...
Does he have the tech, though?
Yeah, welcome to this level of bouldering. Oh, my mistake. I thought Elnaz sent that boulder. When they were brushing at the same time, I thought that she had done it on early on, but no, she's still working as well. Get the footwork right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Carefully getting through. Just piecing it together. I love this like sort of high, careful right foot just to take the balance off. Don't flip. And I mean, the foothold that they're on the right, I know the light kind of blows it out. You basically pushing down on the side of a vertical Gaston.
It's really steep. Yeah. Super steep.
It's not giving you the opposition that you would wish you had in that position.
It's a really active foothold. You can't just place it and hope it'll stay there. You have to constantly pay attention to which direction you're applying the pressure. Yeah.
And as soon as you kind of lift out of your hip to reach over, you lose that tension. And that kind of slip just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. Sometimes when you gain the next handhold, even the foot can slow if you aren't paying attention.
Up to the finish.
No.
Come on, man, shoot, Bob. It looks like she's trying. No. And the finish on the boulder is also just terrible. Yeah, that was a wake-up call.
Yeah, when you have a move like this at the end of it's not so many moves, but they're all super powerful.
Straight to the finish? No, again, you saw that. That was a good look at the right foot.
Yeah.
Not doing quite enough. That's a great ball. Doing its job.
Yeah.
Creating separation.
So good.
And I think everybody who was trying has walked away. No one's climbing down to the wire currently. And as the heavy hitters start to come out, we have Leo Vizou and Lynn Vandermeer. Just make sure that we just hear the clock going back to back.
Yeah,
Sure,
Leo
everybody
comes
knows.
from a climbing family, right?
Yes.
I think everyone in his family climbs, and I think several of them are currently competing in World Cups.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least they were last year, yeah.
And his younger brother won this event last year.
Ah, there you go.
So Sam was Dock Masters champion last year. It would be cool to come back for the family and keep the trophy in the house.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Laura coming through the start of this, I mean, just over 30 seconds gone, and she's climbing up through the zone. This is pretty impressive stuff from her.
Come on now.
Yeah. Is she gonna go?
Wow.
That.
Yeah, nice. I was wondering whether it was possible to tech it out like
Yeah,
that.
and she did.
So
Toe
it's-
hook, heel hook.
Yeah. So it's not just pure pinch strength test,
Wow.
it's tech.
That was very cool from Laura.
Nice.
And you saw Leo very calmly getting up boulder 1. And Lynn also looking pretty confident on this volume. As we said, it's hard to transfer to your screen at home. That volume, it is really bad.
Yes.
No one's just yanking on it. Everyone's grabbing that and having to be quite technically,
No
quite
way.
very careful with how they move through there.
Yeah, you're not pulling quickly on that, no way. Your feet are quite poor.
Boom. 1, 2, 3 get done. Men's 2, of course, not ready to give itself up to too many more people. Alicia and Sergio working away in the corner here. Sergio, we've seen it. Maybe 3 tops now? 4 tops here?
Yeah, something along those
Still
lines.
tricky enough. It's giving some people fits. Sort of off-balance jump.
Yeah, you got to have some hip mobility for that first section. Wow, nice.
Excellent work. I like it.
He loves it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good work from Sergio. And you see him able to keep the foot on basically through the entire movement.
Right to the last part, yeah.
And then who doesn't love a campus finish?
It's entertaining, isn't it?
It is entertaining. I do love the way the top of this boulder climbs too. Just insecure feet down through there. Oh, and look, Chloe deciding
Wow.
to go completely
Wow.
static. That's when you know you're tall and strong.
Yeah, it's one of those moments as a resetter you kind of don't love to see it, but I think we have to say fair enough.
Yeah, we
if
do.
you-
At
if
that
you
point,
can.
you're like, you can only predict so many things.
Yeah.
And I mean, just give us a bit of a window when you're setting, especially comp setting. Do you sort of talk out ways that the boulder, the intended movement can be skipped? Is that sort of fresh eyes come back around and be like, has no one tried to go left hand? And
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
goes, you get kind of tunnel vision, yeah?
For sure. If you're testing on your own, especially, it's almost always happens. You don't see the breaks, but you test as a team, fresh eyes. You test every possible method, and you get to a point where you're confident enough.
Yeah,
and even then, the athletes come out and they still find something new to do.
Yeah,
which
and
is
then as you were
crazy.
saying earlier, if they do, fair play. As long as, in your opinion, it's as hard as it needs to be, then it's doing its job.
And it's also sometimes it's like acceptable for the boulder to be climbed in multiple ways. It's
you
almost
sort of-
more entertaining that way.
Yeah, you sort of set it as, hey, there's multiple solutions here. Now, we've seen a couple of these boulders where and men as well, there's a couple of their boulders where they've had an option to at least try to move differently.
Even with boulder 1, which looked like completely one way, but there's a
There's
couple.
been quite a few.
Yeah. So Alicia tops female 3, 4, sorry.
Yeah, and then Chloe was unable to generate the pop to get up, up high enough. You want your shoulders up quite a bit higher into that, double Gaston move.
Yeah. You want to catch it with height for sure.
Might as well, a good moment as any to run through the Masters setting team. So chiefed by Romain Sud from France, Fred Charon, who's a Canadian, Maelys Agrapart, who you might have seen at the beginning of the broadcast, also from France, Caleb Thomas, a Canadian, Max Assembly from France, and then Olga Niemiec from Poland. So, that's a heavy-hitting setting crew. Romain has been setting World Cups for an eternity. Yeah.
I don't know how long, but over 10 years for sure.
Yeah, and then Fred is a gym owner, owns the Block Shop gyms in Canada, quite successful. They, again, had their own Masters events a few years ago, and that's where they sort of have connected the Block Shop Open. The first time that I think the Dock Masters, had seen the Block Shop Open and thought, that's something we could do.
We could do that.
I love the way that plays across the community on opposite sides of the world. and you end up. Fred's been at every Dock Masters as a setter.
Ah, has he?
Yeah, and he's an excellent root setter in his own right.
Yep.
Which is hard to do as a gym owner. Alberto Ginés López, an Olympian from 2020.
Olympic gold medalist.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. I love the way he climbs.
Yes.
Always so relaxed.
And if you watch his World Cup history, he sort of goes from being almost exclusively a route climber into the training required to be an Olympian to do the combined, and now is starting to just crush boulder comps. He's coming up to being the same amount of success. And Jesse Pilz making, as I would have suspected, Boulder 1 look to be a good introduction to the semi-final round.
No, she's just warming up. No surprises there from Jesse.
Elnaz. And time to readjust. My goodness.
Wow, he is on there. Come on. There's the bad foot.
Oh, the amount of core. I'm just gonna watch.
There's so much tension going on here.
Oh, wow.
The lines you can draw across the body is incredible. Wow.
One-handed crowd. Give me a little more love.
Oh man, this guy's done very well.
Yeah. And then even that, no pause, came through.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's had an excellent round.
Yeah. Actually, I'd love to know how he's done.
Yeah. I'll pull the results up and just give it time for that last one to come through, and we'll go back and have a look. Some men doing things, but Paul is struggling. Boulder 3 has not been kind over the first 2.5 minutes.
Very sapping, that position, the high double shoulder.
And then the feet, maybe a bit of a mistake, but you can't be trusted for so long. Elnaz making a catch in the background.
Yeah, I think the intent, well, what Caleb said, the intended beater was to roll over left hand.
Right, yeah.
Slightly more controlled that way, I suppose.
Elnaz doing that slowly. Is she gonna go?
Yeah,
yes. Heel hook. A good look at that finishing position.
That's it.
Excellent work from Elnaz. Crowd likes it. And, sometimes as you get towards the end of the round, when the wall is full of climbers, but people are flashing boulders now.
Yeah,
things are happening.
Yeah.
Boulders are getting topped, so everyone's on the mat for different reasons. You sort of flip the script a little bit. And I actually think it's hard to be the 1 or 2 people that didn't send the boulder in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And everyone, you've heard all the cheering from like 6 other climbers, and a rare top of boulder 2. And he did, look at that, even the left foot dancing around. Like through, still.
Constantly trying to feel the perfect spot. Wow, steps
look at
high.
that.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah, that's an excited man. Good stuff. 1 minute to go.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You don't want to be sat on the mats as one of the last 1 or 2. You want to get it done ASAP.
Yeah, everyone else has done their job, right? You're here to do your job.
It's like when you go climbing outside and your whole team does a boulder and you're the last one. Oh, so much pressure.
And you can tell that they want to move on.
Yeah, can we go to the next boulder now?
No, we're waiting. Ingrid. Oh my goodness. Just showing you a little bit of hip mobility. And also,
that's one way to find a good foot.
Yeah. Even unloading that here, which looked like it wasn't quite going to work, but this is a great fight to top that boulder with 10 seconds left effectively on the clock. This heel hook is crazy.
So
and then it almost looked like it was going to get stuck on the way out. And then climbing into a smear is always going to be difficult. But making no mistakes. Love it.
Yeah, never underestimate flexibility and mobility. Wow, so valuable.
All right, so absolute crowd favorite everywhere she goes. Stasa Gejo out on boulder number 1, and Don Van Laere jumping right in, no time wasted. I think I'm just going to do this boulder.
You're just going to do it.
Yeah, nothing to worry about.
Yeah. Stasa going slow, calculated.
So Don is the last of the Dutch men to come through. Making it look pretty smooth.
No problem.
No problem. And sort of as you look across various amounts of success, Matthew topping 3. Good job from Stasa.
She was on that for a minute and 10 seconds.
Just being just careful enough.
Yeah, she knows.
Yeah.
She's very well experienced.
And she's having a chat with the judge. Not worried about something.
Nah, I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, I'm sure, right? I'm sure it's fine. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Always entertainment with Sasha, even with the judges.
Yeah. I needed drop-offs there from Lynn and Laura. Chloe.
Wow, that foot is getting people.
And Chloe's one of the tallest women, so that compression is going to be harder with long limbs. And that foot, basically, I mean, 12 inches below your right hand. My goodness. Leo.
Wow.
Great stuff. Holding that position.
French technical master.
Yes, the tension that we've seen out of the men that have successfully got through that looks to be required reading. Like if you can't just grunt out, right? You can't just grab the holds and squeeze and pull and hope for the next one. You need to be like almost 3 points of contact, which is relatively rare in this level of bouldering, is to be able to have 3 limbs on under load.
Yeah. Nowadays, so much jumping, huh?
You're like, if you can generate from an awkward 1-foot position, you're in business. And here we are being like, I mean, if you don't have both feet on, you're in trouble.
You're out.
You're out. Oh, you might be able to hear the bass that's shaking the table in the booth up here. I love it. The excitement in the room for sure. When you talk to yourself with a microphone on, everyone knows what you're saying. I was gonna say something. Never mind. Yeah, classic. That's classic.
We've got some more feet first action on female feet.
We do, and look,
and it's working.
It is working.
Incredible.
Kind of got a little shock and shake, a little shake and chalk in there.
Yeah. Rest. Yeah, impressive method.
I like it. Say that. You hear the MC in the background, Sus Antoine, keeping the crowd entertained, reminding them where to put their attentions. Now it's Chloe and Laura. Just got to dial this in.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Getting that left hand to stick. That is definitely one word for it. Come on, Chloe. Does she have it? No. Just saw that let slid down. Not quite. This is, you don't see this very often.
That position is super awkward with your right foot digging on a terrible foothold.
I mean, she's probably going to give it one more.
Yeah, I think so.
And then back foot first, maybe getting, it's got to be harder the next time you try it. The volume's, okay, maybe not. Laura running out of gas. And she does extricate it. That's good stuff from Lynn. Zone at least is important. We haven't seen a lot of tops on boulder 2, so zone is going to be, that's what you want to walk away from that boulder with. Yeah.
That's got to be good.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay.
Chloe's going to run out. So didn't maybe look completely on form from the Chloe that I know the way I've seen her crush. She did say that she came back from Japan, was sick So
okay.
she's sort of coming back from being not at full power.
Yeah.
I'm not here to make excuses, of course, but I've seen her like stomp on boulders of that style. So I'm, you always want to just wonder. You can't be on every day, of course, and this is right at the beginning of most of these athletes coming back into thinking about competition climbing. They've been off since the end of the World Cup season. Stasha was joking in ISO and said it takes 2 weeks to lose the power and 2 months to get it back.
Yeah.
So it's a bad scale to be on this side of. So it's a tune-up. It's a chance to see where you're at in your training. And I was talking to Mika yesterday, and he was like, yeah, he went through all this physical training, so he's been lifting weights, and he's only just started climbing, really. So this is going to be, am I moving well? It's going to be how he's approaching this.
This comp is always the one where you get to gauge yourself against the other guys out there.
Yeah.
Other guys and girls on the World Cup scene.
Camilla Moroni on the left, Ternant, the French brothers. Yeah. And success on volume 1. And Alberto fighting the 2. Oof. Quite getting it right. Elnaz missing the jump. I think I'm a little surprised by that. And Jessie Pilz, I'm not surprised at all. And I wonder. No, she's going to go heel hook.
Endless endurance.
Yeah, you're right. And sometimes their body language sort of tells you one thing. I thought maybe she was just going to dead point to that. It looked like she was sort of loading for it, and then maybe thought better of it. Maybe thought, I could reach that heel hook.
Yeah.
Now's not the time to be showy. That's tomorrow, right? Semifinals secure your time tomorrow to go and put a show on.
Execute.
Oh my goodness. Is he going?
Yeah, we're getting a really good look at his body now.
Wow, that's quite a show of power.
That is an incredibly deep lock.
Yeah, that lean back.
Wow.
But he's on the mat.
Yeah.
So he must have dropped the top.
Probably a foot pop again.
Yeah. No, almost no doubt, actually. Almost no doubt that was a foot pop. But just take it at face value that if we're impressed, the amount of climbing we've seen through our lives and our careers, that lock off, even just sort of the way his right shoulder came out, that lean back where everyone else had to be glued to the wall to make it stick. A little power in reserve for Alberto.
Yeah, it's so satisfying to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. You start to get sweaty palms a little bit. Yeah.
Oh no, that happened about an hour ago.
Oh, sorry, that happened a long time ago. I always think, it's fun to be on this side of the camera because we often mime out movements. We're like kind of like mirroring what the climbers are doing.
I want to be out there. Yeah. Maybe I'll compete next year.
It's making you want to come back.
Yeah. Wow.
Far left is. Whoa! Speaking of power to spare, Alberto López on the right, making no mistakes, and Elnaz cutting, campusing through a move that shut down a huge part of the women's field with feet on. Love it.
And that's why they qualified so high. Both of these guys.
There's a good look at where we are so far. So Julija Kruder has overtaken Lisa in really good position. Elnaz already in finals, can do whatever she wants on the last boulder. And then Amber. And look at this on the men's side. Slava, 4 tops, the only one with 4 tops. Boyan and Paul hanging in there, Edwards hanging in there, and Sergio at risk, one would have to say at this point, with a couple of strong climbers in the field. I suspect we're going to see tops from Mika, from Alberto, from Gregor Vezonik. Remember that the men have sort of dropped 3 spots, so there's going to be 3 men climbing alone at the end. So while the women are on there, Camilla was the last one out. The men have a few to go.
We have a gap, yeah.
Sorry. Have a look at the clock on the bottom right side of your screen. Gotta hurry. I don't think he's gonna get it. Oh, he is! He is!
Oh, they gave it. Yes.
Oh my goodness. I would not want to be this judge.
We got a true buzzer beater, maybe.
Oh, absolutely. I can't believe he matched this with 3 seconds. And then just, our replay is the 15-second clock. So the clock is live.
We're seeing it.
Yeah. The clock is current live, but he looks straight at the judge. And the strobes, I mean, how do you argue with the strobes? The strobes went off, that's a top.
Yeah.
The strobes say top. That's as close as you're ever gonna see, and that is, I love to see it. That's a good fight, a little bit of luck.
And now we have Mika, world champion.
World champion. Mika Mao, we'll sort of unravel his story over the next 4 boulders, but your 2023 Boulder World Champion, which is no small feat. And as you say, you're excited to see how he just chooses to solve a couple of these boulders, and basically has, at this point, power to spare.
And another guy who's always so impressive to watch. He's always got great facial expressions.
Yeah.
You can tell he's trying. He really tries hard.
Stasha,
Easy for Sam.
absolutely stomping through boulder number 2, flashing that. Again, just lean out of this heel hit. No problem. Starting to be a bit of an elder statesman at this point, right? He's not a young gun anymore, especially by World Cup standards, where they're in their early 20s. And Rogora is going to flash boulder 4. Lots is happening. Tops everywhere. Top on men's 4. Women's 4. We said at the top of the broadcast, semifinals is a little bit chaotic.
Yeah.
We do what we can. We see what we can.
That's part of the fun of the semifinals.
Oh, I think so,
It's great.
Yeah, there's always something happening. We hear the crowd. Also, the strobe lights is actually kind of fantastic.
It helps us.
It helps us know what's going on.
Can I just give a shout out to the Bouldering Bobat YouTube channel?
Yes, you can.
If you look at the top of the screen, you'll see Omar Bobat. He's the guy in charge of the channel, and there he goes, taking some pictures.
So I saw some of his pictures earlier from qualifiers. He has a great eye.
Yeah. He's
some
a good
really
eye.
cool stuff.
Yeah, nice.
And then, every now and then you get a little bit surprised, and just the way that Lynn was climbing, for her to be stumped by Boulder 3 is a little surprising to me, but and there we go.
Still time.
Yeah, Matthew getting 4 done. Leo.
Trying to go from low. It's a long way.
When you're so coiled up, it's counterintuitive maybe if you're a little less experienced. You think, if you can get your feet up under you that high, you have lots of drive, but it's so hard to keep the angles right when you're so bunched up. You send your hips out all the way, and you feel like you could stay there forever, but you can't leave.
Yeah, to bring your hips and your lower back all the way from far out to close in, it's super difficult.
And the holds it's not like you can just pull in, right? There's nothing to grab. Those pinches are open, they're flared.
Yeah, these are not in-cut pinches at all.
No, so it's hard to get your upper body together. Suffice to say, the middle section of that boulder, all of the holds are really close together, which seems like, you just sort of tip-tap toe through there. No, it's technical and it's weird. And it looks just messy, but it's a really good piece of work.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so hard to read. It's like a competition climber's nightmare.
Yeah.
You see that? What?
I could match every hold on here, but should I? Do I move my feet early? Do I keep them low? Are there toe hooks, knee bars? We've seen a couple little knee scums, but you got to release that knee scum at some point, which maybe doesn't do you any favors. Just confusion on top of power, on top of insecurity, the trifecta. And then, just hanging on.
Well held.
Lots of time here, then. Just take a minute. She hasn't been resting very long between attempts. That sort of the desperation creeps in the back of your mind that you need more tries to do the boulder instead of less tries and more rest.
Yeah, and it's like boulder 3. Yeah, you want to get moving.
Let's see what this. So the toe and across this time. Unable to keep the left side strong.
20 seconds.
All right, this time. Just running out of the height, right? Running out of gas, probably in that right arm pull, and the ball's going to step away. So a few gaps in the tops in this last third of the field. So some of the young guns earlier did good work, and not to say that the boulders would then get run by everyone after that. So you're going to see a bit of a scatter plot when you go check out the results.
Never completely linear. It's always a surprise. Yeah. And here's Gregor
Vezonik, World Cup veteran, an all-around nice guy.
Oh, he's amazing. He's such a cool guy. Friendly guy. And I think he's just been to a dentist appointment. I think he's got like a really injured, not injured, but he's got a painful tooth.
He's got a painful tooth.
Poor guy.
And he was so calm about it. I saw him when he finished, he qualified, and he was like, I'm just going to try and book a doctor's appointment to have a look. I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, it hurts quite a lot. He was so blasé about it.
Yeah, he didn't care.
Look at this. How just stopped up boulder to Arthur.
Yeah.
And climbed up high for that match. I love it. Fun enough to see Slav doing boulder 4. That's how quick it can happen. And Alberto dropping the move out of the zone. All right.
Ooh, he's clinking the screw hole. Can you see that?
Yeah, slightly different sequence, like hand sequence through there.
And a tap from Camilla also.
Yes.
We're really starting to see some impressive stuff
good
here.
climbing.
So that's 3 out of the 4 men's bowlers topped already.
Yeah.
Awesome.
This boulder just climbs slowly. Oh, Elnaz. Jesse. Yeah, we get to sort of refocus right away. So we only have 3 climbers to watch, just like that, in the first 2 minutes.
She got drawn into the toe hook.
Yes, she did, and shorted her for sure.
Yeah.
She did climb the hardest women's qualifying boulder. Had an option. You see Alberto jumping into that position. Good grief. Shoulders up around his ears.
Ooh, yeah. Little knees come.
Yeah, and just, I love it, sort of throwing out ideas and then rejecting them immediately. He'll nope. He just looks uncomfortable. Look how smooth he looked. Look at boulder 2. And then look how his whole body position is uncomfortable. Now with the foot slip. But that's not what she's thinking.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the pinch boulder. You try all these different methods and you get instant feedback. And the whole time you're getting tired because you're on these awful pinches.
He does get it to work. Holding on to that over forever. Look, you see the top climbers, their body language, confidence. When they get their mitts on a hold, they know they can do anything they want with.
Yeah.
So some climbers have topped that boulder while very carefully walking their feet all the way along the layback, and just watch her body language here when she gets her left hand on.
It's like she's climbed it a million times.
Like, boom, canvas foot swap. No, I'm not coming off this boulder.
No problem.
Nothing's happening. I was fun. Sean McCall climbs like that. He jumps between the holds that he knows. He climbs so fast, especially roots in the sections that he knows. People think that he's careless, but he's just, his confidence in his ability to squeeze holds is, and for a long time, was next level. Maybe unmatched on the World Cup circuit.
Oh,
his body language was like that.
Yeah,
good stuff from Jessica. And Elnaz this time is going to be probably just a little more careful with that right foot. Yeah, not so cavalier this time, and rejecting it entirely for the match, in fact.
I'll just use the biggest thing above it. No problem.
No problem at all. You get a little bit of sort of recurring, very recent nightmare feeling where you're like, I can't have that happen again. I cannot.
You just
react
you
accordingly.
Just focus slightly more on the foothold, or you just avoid it completely.
So with a minute to go, Alberto is brushing for at least one more. Maybe that's going to take a long rest, but enough to. I mean, this is probably the last try.
Yeah, I think so. with so many moves and being so powerful.
So still jumping in. You sort of see what he keeps from each attempt before and see what he gets rid of. So I suspect we'll see that heel hook again. Just looked at it. Yeah. And this is so long. It does get the tension.
Maybe this is the way.
Yeah.
Come on.
Good recovery. The pinch strength for sure, not in doubt. Oh my goodness. I thought he was saying that Alberto Ginés López fighting. That boulder took 40 seconds. That's a long time.
Yeah. Good job.
Like there, I thought he was going for the finish and had to, maybe he did readjust.
He had to tack back in, didn't he?
And he hit that
was off.
so low. Yeah, I think he was. That is a fight.
That's pure class. Wow.
Really good stuff. He'll be pleased with that. My goodness. Love it. Absolutely love it. Elnaz adjusting. Alberto fighting down through 5 full minutes and making little micro adjustments. Some probably so small that we don't even notice. Yeah. Choosing where to put a foot, choosing where to grab, choosing when to kind of make those movement decisions.
On these boulders, like millimeters make huge differences. Yeah.
And then, I mean, he got away with grabbing the finish hold at the lowest, absolute lowest point.
I think maybe the finish hold is okay.
Yeah.
No pain, no time.
Love it. My favorite, the first time I met Mika, I was at the Block Shop Open and he won. And he had his shirt off from the middle of Boulder 1. And he came to the interview in the booth with his shirt still off.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was my introduction to meeting the energy that is Mika.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Left, crushed by Leo. And then Stasa, as you might expect, making very short workers over 2. And gone. Very short work.
Go on. Wow, impressive.
Even just the difference, the screen not to get to the top of it. Yeah, that is very excited.
And you nearly ripped the hold off the wall just there.
Just look at this amount of pop. Yeah. Wow. No problem at all. And then he just a little flex. The Roots is like, we set screwed that, right? We put all the extra screws in? Yeah, 100%.
Just tearing that one.
What could possibly go wrong? All right, so I guess I'm assuming Mika then had a slip. He's brushing and looking. Boulder 2.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Mika has a weakness, but maybe this is more like it. It's not. It's you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Techie.
Yeah, you like to see
him. He doesn't really
him.
have a weakness, but maybe this is it.
He likes to swing around. I've seen him do some ridiculous things with campusing and training. Stuff from Lynn, just very carefully making that move around the corner.
Very low.
Yes. Good stuff.
Awesome.
The insecurity of that match that we've seen just shows you that that the hold on top of that volume, it's not particularly good, but the position is really awkward.
The position's bad because you only have a right foot holding you on. The left foot is just flagging.
You're sort of out in space and hoping for the bat, and you know that you don't trust the right foot a bunch.
Yeah,
You're
no
like,
way.
This is a half a breath away from being a mistake. All right, Mika Mauam, all eyes on.
Very print that one.
Yeah, which you don't see super often.
Wow. Indecisive.
But also a crazy show of block off. And I mean, rushing a little bit, right? Like he doesn't like the position. He doesn't want to reestablish. He's just deciding, like, I think I can, if I get my mitts on the finish hold, let's hope for the best. He doesn't even look to get his left foot up.
Does he look at flipping his hand back underneath?
No.
No.
And he almost had that long enough to come across a match.
That would be really quite impressive to hold it one-handed. Wow.
Yeah.
If anyone could do it.
I think I'm a little surprised he didn't look at the flip.
Yeah.
But maybe he didn't like the right hand enough.
Yeah.
He was so like
it was
inside out.
Really uncomfortable for him.
I'm actually sure he doesn't mind being the only one on the mat.
Oh no.
Like, you know what? I'm so comfortable up here. Everyone's watching me. It's going to be good. When they cheer, you know it's for you.
He loves it. he thrives. For sure.
And competition climbing does that to you, right? You have to have resilience. You have to be able to tune out the crowd when you don't want it. You have to be able to tune out the silence of you making mistakes at the beginning of a boulder, and the crowd's just like, well, we've seen people do this, so we're not impressed yet.
Come on,
Yeah,
what are you waiting for?
Yeah, entertain me.
Are you not entertained?
30 seconds. It's a slow climbing boulder through here, so this might be the last shot. Oh, crimp.
Oh, wow.
Is he gonna go to the finish?
Wow, he is crimping. Come on, Mika.
He's gonna go to the finish.
Yeah, for sure. This is going to be really impressive.
Wow. And just at the wire to boot.
Wow, that is incredible.
That's wild. We need to kind of try and impress upon you that the crimp, I'm going to put it in quotes, on top of that hold isn't.
Yeah, isn't it? Just isn't.
Quick look at the women's, and this is everyone's climbed through. Oh, not everyone, but there's we're into the last of the field, the strongest that are here. Elnaz, Laura, Julija, Elisa hanging in there. Ingrid and Stasa with a boulder to go. And then on the men's side, Slav and Slava, the only two to top 4 boulders. Mathieu, Boyan, Alberto needs to do boulder 4. And that might be updating. Yeah. You saw it just flip even as we were looking at it.
Yeah, so no more action on one and one.
1 and 1. Greg is on 2. And no women on 2. Just Camilla, Jesse Pilz over there on the far left, and Arthur. Very quick work of this boulder. Awesome. Really good stuff. Camilla flashing 3.
Arthur was actually kind of relaxed at the top of that boulder. That was really impressive. Wow.
It's the wrong word to use, but it's correct. He was very relaxed. Just kind of, ain't no thing.
Yeah, I put my toe here.
Like, I could have campused it, but let's just make sure. Even sometimes the way they let go, you can see how much control they have. Like he kept his right hand on like for too long on the drop. Like, it was fine.
Overpowered.
Good stuff from Arthur. And we're going to see Gregor Vezonik getting that high inside foot, which is like so difficult, but a couple of the men have used that, and definitely psyched to get that one done. Again, super valuable. That top.
Yeah, we know men's 2 is valuable for sure. Technician, Gregor. Well done.
Jesse's still working over here. We haven't seen what's gone wrong to this point. Ooh, power. Finding the position, and then similar to Elnaz deciding I'm going to reject this terrible low foot and take the questionable heel hook.
Anything better than that foot for sure.
Good stuff. See Pilz all class, finishing her round. It's not much of a heel hook. If we're being honest, it's not much of a heel hook at all. But
it's a vague sloper. It's something.
Kind of. It's fading away from you. It's just doing. And at this level, sometimes you just need just enough. You just need to change the angle by a few degrees in order to get your hips around the corner. Like, okay, now I'm fine. It looks insecure, and then all of a sudden, boom, top. Also a sign of good root setting, I would argue.
I would say, for sure. Give him give them just enough. That's always the coolest way. Like minimalism in setting is a really cool thing.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm just trying to remember if we've got. I don't think we have anybody. We're just brushing, right? Everybody's good. All the tops were topped.
Yep, looks that way.
So I think this is a good minute to just give you a little bit of the flavor here. So there's 7 gyms under the ownership here. They own 7 gyms in the Netherlands. They have a gym called Radium, they have Apex, they have Roost, they have Kunststof and Krachtstof, and then they have this Energy Haven and another gym in Utrecht as well called Zuidhaven. So 7 gyms. I think they said there's nearly 50 gyms in the Netherlands. So the indoor climbing scene is pretty tight here. There's almost nothing. They climb in Belgium, Germany, France. You can get to Font in about, I guess, 6 hours depending on how you drive. So accessible, but nothing really local. So for a place without a lot of rock, the gym scene has absolutely exploded. So I love to see it. And obviously the energy here is contagious. It's palpable. The crowd, we kind of look out our window. As I said, they were lining up to get in. Tickets are sold out. I love to see that. I love, obviously, outdoor climbing. Lots of people tell you, well, it's outdoor climbing or nothing. I think having a community, a gym community, and growing the sport and seeing this kind of event draw this kind of excitement is a critical way to build through. And the ownership here are doing that very well with the gyms they put together. And a comp like this takes a huge amount of effort to put on a comp of this level.
They've been working on this for weeks, I think. And wow, it's so good for the local community.
Yeah, and let's not forget that the pro climbers here are chasing a €10,000 prize. So the purse at the end of Sunday night is worth traveling for, worth training for, worth working for, and that's what brings them in.
For sure.
Don with the slip, and Mika. I'm excited to see. He's a big man in a small space, but he's just so strong. And look at the grimace. He's fighting for sure.
Yeah.
We'll call those pinches, but it's generous.
Squeeze Mika.
Oh, wow. So knee up high, but not really a knee scum of any kind to speak of there. And Don, after maybe rushing his first attempt through here, he slipped off. He's going to be slightly more careful.
And I think he's jumping from low as well. He's not getting his left foot high. Let's see. Oh, he changed his mind.
And there's not much on the right-hand side, by the way. Those 2 volumes are stuck together.
There you
the
go.
surfaces of texture are very small. And just right now, giving him a little fit. Mika, and you see, he's still working out what to do. Right on Boulder 2, he was like, I've changed my mind, I'm gonna do this. Here, I'm just watching his eyes dance around. He's like, this one, that one. He's still piecing, and he might, again, when he grabs the holds, change his mind on the fly.
Yeah, for sure. That's the cool thing about this boulder. We don't know how it's meant to be climbed.
Yes.
You just get up there in some way.
Stasha cleaning the foothold. That's fantastic. Just moving very carefully. Look at this position
she
now.
She doesn't even want the small foothold.
No, she's using top of the volume instead of the jib. Everybody on the wall. Stasha off. Making the stick work. Really good work. You can drop them on the right side. Stasha, I'm surprised, didn't make the compression move work. Just maybe rushed it, was way out from the wall.
I think maybe standing on the tip of the volume wasn't so good for her.
Pushes you straight out.
Yeah.
At least the foothold kind of drops you around the corner a little bit, and there she was, at opposition to the movement she was looking for. We'll see again if she makes an inch.
Yeah, there you go. She's using it now.
No hesitation, and then completely changes the angle of that move. Good stuff. Good adjustment from Stasha. That's what you get out of a veteran.
Yeah. No issues on the top.
0 issues. Wonderful stuff. A little wave. Maybe a little rueful wave. I should have flashed that. That was a thanks.
Should have done it.
I could have done it first try. I've seen that before. I've seen climbers the crowd goes wild, and and they're looking to sort of look around like, I thank you, but I'm a little mad.
Yeah, I'm mad at myself. I'll come back in the final and show you what real climbing is.
Yeah, exactly. doubling down on this one.
Has Mika been resting this whole time?
No, he took
I
one
missed
more
it,
try.
actually. Okay. Interesting.
Just sort of walking around. I love this.
Yeah.
This is some of my favorite stuff in competition climbing. Is, you know, when you need to think as much as you need to work. And he's to me, this is let the clock wind down for one more try. There's no safety net at this point.
Yeah. Run it down to 45 seconds or something.
Yeah. And then just make it happen. Maybe we'll see a second buzzer beater.
And he's still working it out, you can tell.
I hate when they move this slowly. I start to get really unnerved. Like, just get on the boulder, Mika. What if it takes you 44 seconds? There we go. Let's see what he puts together. Now I'm off the lower foot this time. Staying with the low foot. Oh, and unable to make the adjustment. And he is going to jump.
He's going again.
On. Crowd should like this. But I don't think that's enough time. I really don't. Because now you have to rush it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's surprising.
Out of gas. And just bad position for him, for sure. He didn't look comfortable at all. Making the move to the right hand.
I wonder
a bit tall?
Yeah, maybe a bit tall, but we've seen some tall guys top this boulder. Maybe men's 2 gassed him out doing that strange match at the top of men's 2.
He spent a long time crimping the crimp that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So that, for sure, that's a good point. That's a good point. And the cumulative effect of all the boulders, we don't see. The body tension takes its toll.
Yeah.
So even though you think, oh, it's just fingertips, forearms, and shoulders, if you have to work hard on 2 boulders through your core, you start to be just overall tired. I mean, it's to say, if you watch, I mean, it's a weird example to pull, but I'm actually coaching someone who used to be a boxer back at home, and he talks about how you can get tired in such weird ways, and getting punched in the body can be as bad as getting punched in the face. So climber will sort of say, oh, it's like a punch in the face, right? Gnarly crimps, you kind of dry fire off, but having to hold crazy tension just makes you tired throughout. So maybe it's just, you know, a little rundown, and that boulder just asking too much.
Yeah, it's full body.
Arthur,
nice
hopping cleanly, love it. That's a good flash. So when we were first looking at this boulder, we thought it was going to cause some fits, and it definitely caused some fits through the middle, but the top men here have done pretty solid work.
We know for sure that Mika needs to do this boulder,
Yes, and Greg can put together. Ooh. Repping his own hold company, I believe, on his shirt there.
Yeah, shout out Vezi.
Vezi holds. He's shaping as well, so.
Yeah.
Camilla Moroni. Ooh. As you say, you get a look every now and then at the foothold that you're walking through. It's blocked. It's uncomfortable. It gets to be, as you leave it behind, it gets worse and worse and worse. Just when she was just about to unweight it too. The shock, the slip. What am I doing on the mat? Mentioned last part, you've seen the top of the screen some of the sponsors running through, but La Sportiva is a huge partner of this event. A bunch of prizes, a financial contributor, so La Sportiva is a great partner for the Dock Masters. So big thumbs up to La Sportiva, keeping events like this going. We can't do it without the sponsors. We can't do it without the volunteers.
No chance.
We can't do it without the route setters. We can't do it without the gym owners. The string of people responsible for putting on a comp of this magnitude. And then, of course, you got to have climbers who are willing to come out and throw down.
Yeah, this is my first time in it. Oh, well, let's watch Gregor.
Yeah, let's watch Gregor.
Let's watch Gregor.
He gets that body position to work super tight, and he's not going to make any mistakes from that.
Awesome.
Easy swing, classic. Greg Vezonik. Had to fight a little bit for it. I love the spring out of this position.
Yeah. I bet it's really satisfying. Yeah, this is my first time in the live stream booth. It's like way more high tech than I expected it to be, honestly.
It's good stuff, eh?
There's a room next door full of electronics. It's crazy.
Yeah, when you see the setup, and there's got to be, I mean, they were moving in boxes all day yesterday. Yeah. The team here for the live stream is doing excellent work as well. Oh, Camilla, just a little slip there. Ain't no thing, Camilla. It's fine. It's fine. So yeah, definitely worth noting, of course, the team behind the scenes. So that's Digital Expression, along with Deadline Productions. They are the ones responsible for your live stream this year. Come on, Camilla.
Interesting.
She tried to go slow. She's tried to speed it up, maybe.
Somewhere in between. She leans back quite a lot. She leans quite. Yeah, maybe too far back. I'm thinking.
Yeah, sort of overconfidence in being able to catch the other side of the movement.
Yeah.
Sometimes being really strong can be a bit of a handcuff.
Also, I think the thing she's done, the hold on the array is completely blind.
Yeah, and she's the only one who's tried to go from away around the corner to making the hold around the arete the saving grace. Everyone else has kind of stepped and established, and then like Stasa was turned hip in for 10 or 12 seconds before she slowly crept. So Camilla making small adjustments, but still turning this into a fairly connected movement instead of a stall. And time is ticking. There we go, there we go.
She found the middle.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Goldilocks problem.
Yeah.
Step through. I mean, we haven't actually seen. Good stuff, Camilla. Finishing off.
Yeah, you can tell
she's going around with the top.
So comfortable in that top section, actually. With a narrow compression, I think she likes it.
Yeah,
Very
and
cool.
she sped up.
Yeah. She knew the time was ticking. Little foot pop. Ain't nothing.
Ain't no thing. And then even this lean back, I love that. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Okay, here we go.
Relief.
And then, oops. People are gonna wake up sweating from that foothold.
Yeah.
All right, we are still, so that's the end of climbing for the women. Camilla Moroni was the last climber on the women's side, and then we got some dudes to go here. So we got Mika all alone, and then Gregor all alone through boulders 4. Oh my goodness. A good look at the start of this boulder, which is just sort of uncomfortable. And is he crimping the gap?
Yeah, it looks like
he
it.
is. They look for everything, hey?
Yeah. I actually saw this set as plugging holes in this volume. This volume is full of holes, screw holes, T-nut holes. They were plugging every single one just to make sure they couldn't be used. But still, Nicomel finds a way.
Yes.
Okay, he's finding his position. Nice, Miko.
Yeah, I suspect that he'll keep that. Yeah, no problem. The tension there. Still got lots to go. Yeah, little wave. So I think he's probably disappointed with boulder 3, but doesn't know that he's basically fine. Ooh, I said he's basically fine, and then went back and checked the results. Yeah, he's sitting right now in 6th place with Greg to follow.
Oh, he's on the button.
He's on. I'm going to say bubble, because that's a Canadian
bubble.
expression.
No, you're right. I just got the word wrong.
Oh, okay.
It's bubble. Yeah. He's on the bubble.
Yeah. I mean, you are, as we have a look too up here, the men's semifinal. That's it's tight through there. So we did end up with a strong group of climbers putting 4 tops together. A couple climbers from the middle of the field. Arthur Ternant on a tear, like ridiculous. The only one to do 4 and 4.
Yeah, incredible.
Like absolutely wild. On the women, Stasa, Jessie, Camilla, Elnaz, Laura, and Julija. So Lisa Clem, strong young Dutch climber, right close, and she's going to be out by virtue of, looks like 1 attempt.
Yeah.
That hurts.
Yeah,
those hurt
mean.
for sure. And then.
And no no ties going into final. So
no, which is
the
fantastic.
Will be really happy with that.
Yeah, it's that's the result you're always hoping for. You want to have a good semifinal round. You don't want to see all the boulders get just smashed. You want to see them work for it, but you want to see them all get topped. You do want to see a few climbers top all the boulders. Like, as a route setter, you're conflicted a little bit.
Yeah, you want to see both, right? You know it's semi-finals, so you want that progression. You expect the top 6 to do incredibly well, but you want some entertainment in the middle too.
Yeah, you want to have a few people from the middle of the field pull out a boulder or two, and here on the men's side we saw a couple people in the middle of the field pull out a boulder or 4.
Yeah.
Right? So
out of nowhere.
Yeah, you just sort of think you're having a day, you're on, the boulders are in your style, whatever that might be. We were discussing earlier when we're back in the office in between the end of the semifinals and the start of the finals about how it can be difficult, and it's hard for a lot of spectators to remember how hard it is to make a final.
Yeah, for sure.
A World Cup final, a Masters level final, whatever it is, we sort of think, oh, the top climbers should all get into the final. The boulders are really hard. They're very specific. You have to dial it in all the time, and the sport is grueling. They climb very nearly 9 months of the year. And the opportunity to have, you don't have to have an off day, you have to have an off 5 minutes.
Yeah, you have to be focused from the minute you walk through the door on Saturday morning all the way to boulder number 4 on Sunday night. It's crazy.
Yeah, so, I always like to sort of remind people that to be kind to the climbers that just missed a final. Be kind to the climbers that just missed the semifinal, because it's incredibly difficult. When you see people of the caliber of Michael Mauem not do that boulder and have that be the difference, it's hard. You don't necessarily want to come down like, oh, a bunch of people did 4 boulders and I did 3, but if the goal is do 4 boulders to get in, you have to do 4 boulders to get in, right? If the goal, I've seen semifinals where only 2 boulders get topped, and that's equally stressful because, like, they're all getting shut down. So the mood of the event changes.
You have to get shut down the least. Everyone's getting shut down, you just get shut down the least.
It's like, we say sometimes that you don't have to win, you just have to sink the slowest.
Yeah, true.
So as long as you're sort of drowning the slowest, you'll be okay.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, that is going to take us to 1 man and 5 minutes, and I mean, I'll bet you $1 that Gregor flashes this boulder.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay.
Well, no, I agree.
Yeah,
I just straight up agree.
Yeah. We'll just trade dollars. It just shows you the confidence we have and the way that Gregor's been climbing. Bad tooth and all.
Yeah, bad tooth. Top dual 6 qualifying boulders.
Yeah, he did. Only made 1. He slipped on the easiest boulder, which he had a bit of a laugh about. And comfortably moving. Was it yours? Yeah, that's right, the red one.
Come on, Gregor.
Oh my goodness. Foot. You should have taken that bet. That was $1 for you, and €1. I would have been €1, which for me is like $5. So this is. Was he being too confident? Was he being too careless? Do you think?
No, I think it's just a mean boulder. The boulder bite back. So it's a bad foothold.
Yeah, and he's not holding anything, right? You'll notice no hand holds.
Full hands-free moment.
And a lean back. Yeah, the right foot just released it a little bit too much tension.
He just unweighted it for a split second, just as he was about to move.
So we're going to see probably a little bit more careful, or maybe something completely different.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, low jump. Gregor Vezonik is going to secure his place in the finals tomorrow. A good time to remind you that tomorrow the finals are going to start a little bit earlier than they did today. So we're going to start at 7 o'clock, but we'll be on the stream at 6:30. Saying we're going to do some interviews and some excitement. Just watching Greg Vezonik here casually match the last hold.
Ain't no thing.
Putting in a really good round. So many people to thank. A quick run through of our sponsors. The Dutch Climbing and Mountaineering Association, that's the NKBV, is a main partner. La Sportiva, Mammoth, the hold sponsors. Chapter Unleashed, Rustam, RSH holds. And then finals boulders you're going to see tomorrow from Axis, Unit holds, Squadra, Super, X-Cult, and Flat hold, which we see everywhere. Grizzly, Kilter, and then of course Physio Fabric, which is the in-house physios Climb Lab that donated brushes to the whole place. The Circuit Climbing for Media. Apt Climbing and Axis are both distributors, so they helped get all the holds here.
Yep.
Took care of the duty, stuff like that. So Punk Route Setting, they actually have extra cleaning, so they're helping clean holds, the grip wash.
Oh, that's cool.
And then the sound guys at Sound Everest, and of course Digital Expression here for the live stream. So make sure you come back and join us for the final tomorrow. It's going to be fantastic. If you're in the Netherlands, the gyms are going to show the stream at those gyms. So if you couldn't get tickets, you can go be in that environment, watch it projected up on the wall. So 4 of the other gyms in this ownership group are showing
that's
those finals.
super cool.
So that's going to be super cool.
Go do that. That's cool.
It's like when you watch your you get to watch your favorite team playing away and they fill the stadium. So it'll be a little bit like that. We're going to bring the scores up for you. These are going to be provisionally finalized. So remember, 6 go to final. On the women's side, Stasa, Jessie, Camilla, Elnaz, Laura, and Julija, just knocking out Lisa Clem, who we thought maybe was going to sneak in as a local
we
favorite.
thought 3 was enough. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the women came through and stomped, but excellent climbing across the field, of course. Even as we said, when you look down the bottom, people who only got one top, they fought. So on the men's side, Arthur, Gregor, Slav and Slava in 3 and 4, Alberto, Ginés, López, and then Dutch climber Don van der Laere just knocking out Meek and Mauem by, again, a couple of attempts. So that is a very snug men's field up there. I'm saying that, I mean, the prediction is not difficult to make. The finals are going to be absolutely lights out.
They're going to be incredible. There's no ties. Again, there's no ties there, and there's some names maybe we don't know so well, mixed in with Alberto and Gregor and Arthur. Wow, it's going to be good.
Yeah. All right, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for dealing with the chaos that is semifinals. I think you were fantastic in your first time in the booth, so thank you for hanging
really
out.
Surreal for me, so thank you for having me.
It was great to have you. Your insights and your knowledge in the route setting side of things, I think, added a ton. I hope everybody at home feels the same way. So we're not sure yet, but maybe we'll see you for the finals tomorrow.
Oh no, don't say that.
Yeah.
Well,
You're definitely going to
let's
see me. You're definitely going to see me on the finals tomorrow. Make sure you come back and join us 6:30 local time. And I had a great time. I hope you had a good time.
It was great, man.
Fantastic. We'll see you guys soon.
See you soon.